Also, like, on a new headset right now, because my headset broke, so I've got in, like, these earbuds that came with my phone when I got my phone, so the audio
Sounds
is gonna
good.
be terrible.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, I can't tell the difference.
Well, I mean, my mic's still the same mic. I have a stand mic, but my hearing is way off. Hello, everybody. This is Grimcad. You are joining us for Dungeons & Dragons Wednesdays. Tiny bit later than usual. Things happened. Important stuff. Dee Dee is back. Hello, Dee Dee.
Hello. Good to be back.
How is your house looking?
I have my own personal man cave. I can have 2 6-foot tables side by side and still have room to play D&D around it. I have Star Trek posters everywhere, my own refrigerator, my own microwave, my own water cooler. It is paradise.
Very impressive. I'm glad you got everything sorted out.
And I have a mother-in-law moving in to boot.
Well, you know.
She treats me better than my wife, so this is a good thing.
Well, fair enough then. So we're going to be jumping right into it. A lot of things have happened. We're going to give sort of a brief overview for DD of all sort of the things that have happened. Hopefully not spend an hour on it.
No, it's spent 2 hours on it.
So
is this a 0.5 recap episode?
Oh, I sure hope not. I hate those. Let's see. We're going to be touching the big things, though, because, again, we got lots of stuff.
Rick, come over here. We need to touch you.
Big things. The entity known as me has ascended as a god. We have given him all sorts of sparks of divinity. Not necessarily thinking if that was a good idea or not, but we did it anyway. He was sort of comatose for quite a while. We went out, and then when we came back, he was talking with the NPCs. When we got back to the mansion where it was creating sort of entities. And I have nice little pictures that I'll show, if I still have them up here. We have... That's not it. That's not the handout. We have sort of little guys. We have sort of big guys.
Big guy.
No, I did not fall asleep. I was shitting myself.
Oh.
How's the ping in that? We should play later.
I was playing with Aussies.
And we have the biggest guy.
Yes. I was going to say, it sounds like I came in during the intro. Sorry.
Yeah, it's alright. Now people know that you use the bathroom. Be ashamed.
Yeah,
who are these?
Too bad I haven't left my bed this whole time.
These are the things that me was creating. Certainly not sure about the process. We didn't actually really investigate that much. At the very least, this big one, known as the Crystal Sovereign, has the ability to talk and is intelligent. The other one's sort of up in the air.
He likes to stroke your face, saying, "I could be your king."
There were some creepy moments with it. From there, it asked everyone of the party if it would worship it as a god. Everyone was sort of understandably rather hesitant. This is me, by the way, not the things that it created, except Rick. So it sort of implied that it had plans for the city. It then left, and through means that are not exactly known, did 2 things. Number 1, it forcibly shifted the city away from the Abyss into a place where we don't exactly know where we are. It appears to be nothing. When asking people who should be in the know, we get sort of cryptic, it's in between planes. and things of that sort of nature. Then it destroyed half the city. Sort of right across the line, everything sort of got wiped away. I think the way I described it was if you took a cake and you put a knife through the middle of a cake and you scraped it away.
So, Tapper, you know that your favorite cannoli place? That's gone now. I'm sorry.
Well, with half the people as well.
And all the rat folk.
Not necessarily. Because we
and
have
the
been in
slave uprising.
contact with the rat folk via a sending spell. And we found out some strange things about this sort of the other side now. The strangest of which is that time is not functioning as it should. In between sendings, which seemed like a short right after the other for us, it was implied that a large amount of time, hours, weeks, possibly even longer, had passed for Chol. We don't necessarily know about the other rat folks, all of them. It's sort of been said most are accounted for, but I don't think specifics were ever given.
Darn.
This was sort of further confirmed by Rick and Zydroin, as we found out two things. Two more things. There is some sort of barrier preventing entry from our side to the other side. It's kind of like you're moving towards it, but you're not getting anywhere as you try to go over. We have discovered there is one entrance basically in the middle of the city. There's one place that you can go through to, and you can go through fairly easy, but coming back takes a lot of work. Perhaps work's not the exact right thing. It's a lot of time. Through things that we found out a little bit later, it seems like if you leave immediately, it sometimes take a variable amount of time to get back. One person who was attempting to come back was under the impression that he would come back before the events happened with the destruction of half the city. But everyone else has come back significantly after. Long story short, there's timey-wimey things going on, and they don't make any sense.
But we found a blue box, and I mean painted.
We've discovered one other thing. It is possible to travel
To trash the DM's plans? Yes.
over the border. At the very least, Zydrone was able to do it with
Tree walk?
Tree Walk. Yeah, you know, that one spell where you go into a tree and you come out another tree within 500 feet or so. He was able to do that and was able to get to the other side, where there is somewhat of a town set up by the survivors. Most of that was sort of glossed over because it was him by itself, and, you know, I didn't feel the
No, it was very
need this
important. He met his new
huge,
waifu.
introduction of characters and everything like that. He came back, and we've also discovered, this was actually before, that in order to set everything right, there's a ritual that has to be done. We need some sort of artifact of great power, the one which now Shine and Voth have in their possession, and it needs to get towards the center of the city. They're more sort of locked down where they are, and so cannot make it back to where they need to be. So our idea is for us to go out and grab them, or at least grab the item, not necessarily them. I mean, you know, that's up to you.
And sending's different.
Sending is slightly different. We're doing it like a cell phone, wherein you have to give your number to a person and they have to give their number to you. You can't just send, you know, random guard 3.
I love Random Guard 3. It's my
He's
favorite.
my favorite too.
We've been through a lot together, Grim.
Yeah, he homebrews.
You don't lose the micro beer, you know?
Mm-hmm. So the last thing that we were doing is we are sort of mounting our expedition to head over into the other side, which is what we're officially more or less calling it. So what we're going to do is we're going to, and this is something that you sort of got told about by the other people, you were asked to make a tribute. So I got, let me start over again, because again, big things. And we're sort of glossing over them because, I don't think we need to revisit it. But they were very important decisions that we did not want to make on your behalf. So the number one thing is, would you accept this entity known as me as your god, as he so puts it? He's
let me ask you this.
Asking you.
Can I just lie and say sure and still worship the dragons? I'm evil. I don't care.
You wouldn't know?
Okay, that's what I would do then.
Okay.
They didn't have any problem with worshipping more than one people before.
That's true. Like, he didn't ask for you to be, your sole god. I am the god above all others, blah, blah, blah.
But then he goes off to kill all the other gods. He's sending mixed messages here.
He is.
He really is.
And I just want to point out that I didn't have to bow my knee to him.
And then
I don't know if I would have done that.
You really love pointing that out, don't you?
Is that he does ask you for a tribute. And he asks for your most important possession. And so what would you sort of give up to him?
Okay, well, this really... My most important possession would probably be one of my pairs of sunglasses or my broom. Which are the plus one quarterstaff. The thing is, I would hope he would take the sunglasses because I have 5 other pairs made.
He's not choosing a thing. You're giving it to him freely.
Well, I would give him a pair of sunglasses that I'm wearing because that allows me to fight during the day unobstructed.
He wouldn't question the item. He didn't question any of the items.
Especially mine.
All right. Yeah, that's what I would do because that is one of the most important things for me to be able to function during this horrible daylight.
Right, which we're pretty much perpetually in at the moment.
Yeah. And since I have 5 other pair made, that's fine with me.
Mm-hmm. The other thing that is probably worth mentioning is that me has gone away to fight off, quote unquote, other usurpers. Man, I cannot talk today. That are challenging his place in the pantheon. It was left very vague. But long story short, he's more or less out of the picture for a while.
All right.
He's very busy.
So what we're going to do, though, is we're going to pick up right where we were, sort of the next day after. About 2 days or so have passed since this thing has happened. We've spent sort of the day buying supplies, or the last day, buying supplies and all that, and preparing. Oh, now I got the hiccups. Preparing for the journey over. So, what are we bringing with us?
Alright, I'll post the list I have so far in the chat.
Don't forget the spice.
I'm still under the belief that we made an extremely comprehensive list last week and couldn't really add much more to it.
Over the week, yeah. That's why I kind of didn't try keep adding things, because everyone covered it, like, instantly.
Well, there might be things here and there that you're forgetting, but at this point, that's on you guys.
I can't think of anything. I'm stupid.
We can't think of anything. Our characters wouldn't be able to think of anything. At the end of the day, Zydrone himself would be more towards, like, giving his
the more
effort.
So let me clarify. So these are items that we are taking with us to the other side because we don't know what's there.
for the purpose of you don't know what's there, and for the purpose of sort of like trade. We know that the settlement on the other side is in sort of dire straits. They're mostly at equilibrium, but like things are very hard for them to get. For instance, clothing, and that's one of those daily necessity things that you don't necessarily think about.
And stuff is more plentiful on our side.
Yes.
Is it still really, really expensive on our side?
Yes.
Probably even more so now that everything's fucking wrecked.
Exactly. But for the most part, we're sort of bringing mundane things. So there's a couple of ways we can go about this. There's the really hard, annoying way that I'm sure nobody wants to do, where we say sort of exactly what we're bringing, i.e. I'm bringing 300 feet of rope. It is going to cost me this amount. Or we can pay a certain amount up front and we say we're covered for rope.
I like
oil's a good idea.
I like this whole thing.
The second one, yeah, I'm sure everybody is going to go for the second one.
Yeah.
Because,
Besides, I've got
nobody really wants to.
my bag of holding is packed full of mundane stuff already that I had purchased previously or picked up previously.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to give the party a handout. I actually can't create a handout. Let me refresh Roll20. I might have like so many things that I physically can't create a handout. Oh no, it's just added them all to I see, fair enough. Called shopping list. That will be in your player selection. I would appreciate it if somebody would add those things to it.
Wonderful.
And anything else we might not be thinking of. Like, this is the time we're gonna devote maybe, 5 minutes to it, and then we're gonna move along. If it even needs 5 minutes. But everything we're not bringing, I assume for the most part, unless you yourself are bringing it in your own stuff, that we're not bringing it.
Should we bring like tents as well, you think? Do we already have that?
I mean, they have them, but we could always take them for ourselves as well.
Yeah.
That does sound good. Normally I don't like milk chocolate, but
Oh, well, I'm a dark chocolate fan, but this is to die for.
yeah, I'm more of a dark chocolate person myself.
But they would
Anyway.
game hunters across the way.
Outside of other... I'm really trying to rack my brain because I don't know what we could be forgetting.
I like to think oil. Maybe
No, yeah, I added the oil. I think that's probably one of the things we were forgetting. But
just basic. Do we have tools? Basic tools like hammer,
Mhm.
stuff like that. Okay. Fishing tackle.
I would probably put that in tools.
All right. Healing potions.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're good. I mean, there's obviously we could just keep going and just I'm gonna bring the Walmart and call it good. But
Yeah. We are your one-shop stop.
Don't forget your guns right next to your back-to-school supplies.
What?
there you go.
Yeah.
What do you mean? The guns are the back to school supplies.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. Hi,
You're not
welcome to Watch
wrong.
Lists.
Hi, welcome to America.
What we're gonna do then, if our list doesn't change too much from what we have, we're gonna say we're spending like, I don't know, 5,000 on it, and that what we have doesn't really deplete. Now that doesn't mean we have infinite metal, infinite awards, so we shouldn't be abusing it either. But you know, we have enough to cover for basic things.
I'd like to have infinite pie, though. Can we buy that?
Yeah. Let's see.
That I think I mean, we're not trying to. We're doing this more to benefit ourselves, right? Financially, or are we actually doing this as a humanitarian thing?
I think
I
we're
mean,
doing
we're
it.
doing it for the first, but we're saying it's the second.
I don't care. Just whatever we can get the most money for.
I was under the impression it was the second one, but I should know better by now. I
Yes,
should know
it's
better.
totally the second one. Yes, Guts. Totally the second one.
I'm
We were telling
sorry.
Gav it was the second one. That's who we were telling was the second.
Fortunately, I'm the conscience of this group.
Where was the handout?
It should be under player section. It's called shopping list.
I do not have.
Oh, I put it in the party loop. Oops.
Ah, okay. Yeah, because I don't have a
Do you guys not have?
shopping list.
Oh,
And I don't
that's
see
because I
anything.
put it all under mine instead of all player.
Derp.
There you go. I guess my next question for everyone else is, while we're pondering, is that we want to be bringing the bone walls with us. Who's going to be doing that, and how exactly are we doing that?
I assume the two people with 27 strength,
25, but yeah.
25 strength.
You mean
Definitely
my
not me.
You mean my 8? Won't
You have
help?
8 strength.
You're
Yeah.
not the person with the 25 strength. Guts.
Wow.
She doesn't have any muscles. What do you want from her?
Yeah, I know, but still, like, wow, dump stat much.
Oh no, wait, actually it's 9. But still, it's a negative 1.
It's okay, my
You did what?
dexterity's 9.
You need one of these fancy bats.
That's some muscle.
Guts' bones just get really huge.
The buff skeletons.
Have you?
It's more
Chubby
your
bones.
own. Like, nobody has asked this thing of you. This is just, we think it's a good idea. We know that it's very difficult to get back once we go over. Oh, no,
Wow.
yes, it's a
But
community
For
thing.
most people.
I'd like to buy money on death finally, please.
Toilet paper.
Ugh, you don't need to worry about that.
Actually, yeah. In game, we've been playing for like 9 months and never gone toilet once.
Sorry,
Not
I gotta
your-
poop.
It's not very HRP of us.
It's like, so how's your bowel
what
movements?
about hay bales?
That's too big. I
I
mean,
know it sounds really stupid, but hay bales?
Yeah, like animal feed and stuff like that.
I guess it
Oh.
depends as if you want to feed the animals you're bringing over.
Oh, that's really good. Animal feed.
It took me
The
that
more I
long.
think
It
about
took
it,
me
I'm sure
that
this
long,
means
an entire week, to think of one thing that could be added to the list.
we all share a communal brain cell, guys.
It's my day with the brain.
it's my turn on the brain cell. Mom said so.
Alright, I've used the cell. Whose turn is it now?
I think it's mine.
Alright.
Luckily, none of us are alcoholics.
No. That you know of.
Been hiding my
Ah,
addiction
yes,
for
because you think
years.
alcohol could be the worst thing I would be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not my vice of choice. But, that I was thinking about? I'm sure the destruction of the city means that my bulldogs did not make it through.
You have bulldog?
Remember? From the expedition? The ones that I was able to, charm into following us back to the city?
I do not remember you
I
having
actually
dogs.
do not
What?
remember that either.
I
What now?
This was with, one of the first expeditions with Hambone. I think it was the same one we got me on. Right, when we found them in the head.
No, I do think I actually remember something along the lines, because, yeah, Adrian got the spiders, and I'm sure Guts came back with something as well.
It was,
yeah.
these, bull, these...
Yeah,
Yeah.
the cow
bulls.
dogs.
Yeah, the cow dog things, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I
do
was just thinking
remember
they
that.
it was the throwaway comment, but
Okay.
they probably didn't make it through.
They were with the druids, so who
Poor,
knows?
poor bulldog
Probably not.
things that you never once checked on.
She checked out of once.
I wanted to,
believe.
but it's been so hectic. Can't blame me for that.
That's
We've been out in
bad
the abyss
pet
for
owner.
God knows how long at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can think of anything else. So I added a
What
couple
else is on
things.
here?
So I'm just filling out my own shopping list, right? That's what you want us to do?
No, just sort of the community one. I mean, if you want to bring things
Yeah.
on your own, by all means, please.
I'm a poor boy. I have literally no money.
That's going to change real fast. How much money we accumulate.
So, because okay, I'm looking for some. Where's the community shopping list?
That's
Under
shopping
the
list under the
player
players.
Should be yeah, it should be one of the first things under the player tab.
Because the one I've got is completely empty. The one I think
Is it?
yeah, it says shopping. It says player, then shopping list, and there's nothing there. So I've been filling in stuff.
Maybe close it and reopen it, because it's there for me.
Okay, now I see it.
Yeah. Because Guts would have made the change.
Okay, I added some things. Looks like I already have some of them. Might be repeat though.
I cannot get over how scary that game was.
It's perfect
I
for Halloween.
want to play now.
I honestly wanted to play it since I saw it the first time.
But yes, that shopping list actually looks rather all-inclusive so far.
Okay.
Add a few things.
Flint to start fire. Ha! Plebeian non-magical users.
You're right. Psh.
Imagine not being able to cast fire at will.
What?
What? You guys don't breathe fire?
Do that once a day. We can do it as many times as we want.
Yeah, but you only need to use it once a day if
I
you
can
want to
learn
start
a
a campfire.
I can learn a spell that lets me cast as a bonus action for anyone to do it. You're not special, damn it.
Yeah, but I can light a campfire, and that's all I need.
All right. So we need to pony up about 5K. I don't care how you do it, as long as it gets done.
That's literally how much is in the party fund, so...
I've got 2 gold.
I wasn't
Alright.
kidding when I said I have literally no money, which is really
Alright.
odd for me.
I have 420 gold pieces.
Yeah, I also
I don't
have
know how
no
much I have.
money. Ha ha ha.
Oh yeah, shut up, Mr. 10k platinum.
You know, we have literally 5,000 in the party funds, though.
Yeah, I mean, just
Nice.
use party funds.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll just need somebody to, mark that down.
I have like almost 400
Can't be
gold.
balanced. How many platinum is
It's 10.
5,000?
It's-
10.
Oh, no, 10
So-
gold to 1 plat.
So 500 platinum. Because
Yes.
in the party loot, there's that 1,600 platinum.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just use that then.
So should we just
Yeah.
use 500 of that?
Sure, who's been doing the party loop? I'm pretty sure that's the one I took for some tollies.
Alright, so.
That
let's see.
the top part, yeah, that's all basically what was stolen from Strom Tollers.
I'm just gonna remove that.
Just edit 500 off that platinum.
No, again, I'm pretty sure that's the stuff I took.
That's what you took. So you have that money.
So someone's been just adding stuff without paying attention. I just crossed it out. Someone else edited it.
Yeah, only one person can edit at a time. It's weird with Roll20.
Right? They should just, like... Side by side editing's been a thing for years now. They just want to add the... They're a little lazy with their upgrades. They've been too busy working on the new lighting system that's not working right. Haha.
All right, so without further ado, we already went over the NPCs that we're going to bring with us. Again, are we marching these bone walls along? Are we loading them into a cart? What's the deal?
Would they stay in the cart?
I mean, when you put them somewhere, they stay there. I mean, they're a wall.
I'm saying, will they just not eat it?
Would it be easier to put them in the cart or not?
If we put them in the cart, then yeah.
Why
that's
are
fine.
why are we the walls? The bone walls?
Protection?
Because they're bone walls. That's Wally and Walden. We have to take them. We don't know when we're coming back.
Well, I knew we had Wally. What's this other one?
Same
Walden.
one.
Yeah, we managed to bring 2 back from the city we stole them from.
Okay. All right. They don't go very fast. I can't see them to be much of a really advantage.
No, they're more of a static defense than anything, and a disposal unit for corpses.
Okay.
But again, just to, they move about 15 and it takes an action to move them.
That was 30.
Yeah, but, no, it was a lot slower than we
That was
walked.
20 then. It was an even number, I thought.
Doesn't matter, we'll load them onto a cart either way,
Yeah.
Okay.
because we're not wasting that much time.
All right. So you get back to the area where the quote-unquote portal into the city, or into the other side is. As I mentioned before, the last time you were there, it had undergone some upgrades. The upgrades are still there. There's still quite a gathering of people there. It doesn't look like keeping people out of the garden has been, well, frankly, very high on the guards' lists of priorities. But there is sort of a line of other folks who have had basically the same idea as you. They have carts full of things. They're going in. They're either exploring or they're attempting to, profiteer off of it, or whatever their reasoning is. They do exist, and you are sort of more or less forced to wait in line. You've heard sort of from just overhearing in the line, from the crowd, from the rumors, from the gossip, that the amount of people coming back is much, much fewer than the amount of people going through.
Yeah, because it's difficult to do.
Not necessarily difficult, it just takes a lot longer.
Well, yeah, it's tedious, rather.
Yeah.
Literally.
The line going in is actually moving at a fairly decent clip.
But still 10 years later.
It looks like when we get to the front, they are again, I can't talk today. There are guards asking questions. As we get to the close, it's more, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? Who are you doing it for? Etc., etc.
Money, myself, money.
Which is sort of pretty much what everything has happened. And again, they do want to know who you are. And presumably you tell them that you are, the Imperius Company or whatever? Or are we sort of doing it shady, like?
No, they were like, here's your official, I assume, company charter or something.
Mm-hmm. They're not actually asking for anything like that.
This is not our fault, we swear. Oh, why would it be? I'm just saying, covering my bases. But it applies. I know, but you gotta blame someone. I blame the slot personally. Fucking frogs. Technically speaking, it is slightly the slot's fault.
I mean, they were there. If they weren't there, this wouldn't have
if
happened.
it wasn't me, it was the fog Hemoth that would have done it. I'd rather have me than the fog.
I mean, I just picture that we can use Rick like Physic and just get him to be like, move out the way.
So you want to try to bypass the line as it is?
Well, I mean, what's the harm in waiting, though?
No, just wait the line. Your waifu needs to age a bit more as I join.
You could get to the waifu.
I mean, I can go through whenever I want.
There is no sensation to speak of when it finally becomes your turn and you sort of pass through. There's nothing at all. No funny feeling, no sense of being disoriented, nothing like that. But you're through. You were sort of told, Zydroan, that generally there is a party of people or something, or a group, that sort of waits at the Senate ruins, which is where the gate is, to sort of greet people and do things on the go-through. But there's no one like that here now.
Let's go do what we usually do, strut around like we own the place.
Just moving
Yeah,
off to the
if the rest of the party wants to do that, I'd probably split off and go try find Bramble or someone else that I was introduced to via her.
As soon as we go through, I want to ask
I
the rest of the group, do they still feel this very unnatural and disturbing alliance towards the city?
What are you talking about? It's perfectly natural.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
So I take it as a yes.
I feel like you would at this point if me feels it. If me feels it, I feel like you would too by now.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. Tadpole hasn't spent a lot of time inside the city.
And she's, every time she's been in the city, she's been actively against it, essentially.
But either way, in order for me to actually answer that question, yes, they sort of fill that pool. And how dare you call it unnatural?
Yeah, you got. We should introduce Tadpole to Uvoff, I think. He was trading her out.
Oh yeah, the half-city cleric.
Yes.
Out of all of the things to do on this side of the city, I'd probably want to stick with Zadrowan.
Yeah, well, I think I would probably without having any like previous knowledge of where she might be, I would probably go to the thicket or whatever it was.
Let me put a pause on that right there. So you step through the old ruins. And again, as I mentioned before for everyone else, it is literally half of the old Senate building that has been destroyed. It still sort of exists as a structure, but it's kind of pretty iffy. You know, the daylight showing through, quote unquote. We get to the area that was described as the parade grounds. And there's basically a huge gathering of people. You sort of scan yourself through the crowd and you notice all the people that have been introduced to you, as well as what you would presume to be sort of most of the inhabitants of the town. I'm going to take a couple seconds to re-show, or do the handouts exist for you, Tadpole?
Did what?
Do the handouts exist for you? Do you like?
Yeah, I went over the handouts quickly.
Okay. So I'm going to.
Can I? Oh, okay. Never mind. I don't see her. Even if she's in the front of the crowd, I don't see Bramble.
And we see two things noticeably. We see Uvoff and a woman that we haven't seen before, who is obviously some sort of mage. You know, she's decked in the garb, all that kind of thing. She is bound, and not only bound, but she's been sort of placed into a stock type system. You know, she can't escape without sort of outside help.
Kinky.
Okay, I'd like to just.
I'm sorry. Give me 1 moment. My kid just.
So all for killing Uvoff, I assume. Raise your hand.
No, remember, Grandma asked us not to start fights needlessly.
This isn't needlessly. We have to save the cool mage lady.
Or we could throw tomatoes at her like you do with people in stocks.
Yeah.
See, I'm a man of culture. I throw watermelons with a catapult.
I just throw rocks with a trebuchet.
Trebuchets are the superior siege weapon.
Yes.
So on a completely different note,
90-kilogram rock, 300 meters, with frightening precision.
But I would probably go try and find Bramble, because she's literally the only person that I actually know on this side, and that still puts us a step ahead of basically anyone else that comes over to this side.
Well, I would probably want to come with you, at least. Because you know people around here, like, you went around and met everyone at least. You've been over to this side.
Well, I'd assume that most, like Grim said, most people are in this area.
So I made 2 little rectangles because obviously we gotta be showy. We gotta build a house instantly. Rather be between the wizard's top place and one of the elders, we want to be by the tavern, but the church.
Should we put the walls in front of the where everyone's coming in so no one else can come in?
they step through into a meat grinder.
Uh,
Hi. We weren't killing
what?
you NPCs. Don't worry about it.
can I get a perception check from everyone?
You may, but
That first one
Always
doesn't
good
count
at
because that was to
perception.
see if I could see Bramble. So this is your perception check, and it's not much better.
hooey.
What
Do
is
I
with
say
these
it?
trash rolls today?
Ooh, none of us see
Whoa.
nothing.
Do I say it?
I got a 16. I'm okay.
Adrian, you're the only one who sees it. When you sort of step through the ruins, you see
Look, I keep clicking the wrong button.
this person sees you and sort of is shocked by your presence. Sort of.
My friends are out.
Hold on 1 second again. What, kiddo?
The cliffhangers.
Huh?
My friends are out.
Okay. If they are back, I want you back here
I also really like
by
Lurk
2:30.
just
That's an
by
hour.
just by how he looks, because he looks like Vivi.
All right. Sorry.
So awful look being the new Janie and say I.
It appears that for all intents and purposes, she knows you. And
Is it one of my half sisters?
you do not recognize her. When I say you, I do not mean you specifically. I mean she recognizes the party.
Do
Do I do it?
We're
What she look
criminals
like?
here.
we are war criminals.
All right.
Well, yeah. Did I actually get introduced to these figures of standing, or did I just get told of them and get shown them?
You did not get really introduced to him. It was more, oh, this is whomever. They are in charge of whatever.
Mm-hmm. But
Well, then I would mainly be keeping an eye out for Bramble, and if I saw her, if she's near Uvarth or something, I'd walk up. But otherwise, yeah, I'd be keeping my distance.
Okay, you do spot her in the crowd. She's a rather unique individual.
I go up to her. Well, we're back.
Let me put a pause on that. This person who recognizes the party, she looks as if she's about to speak, and she opens her mouth, sort of in shock and gasping to say something, and blood starts pouring from her mouth, which she sort of, quickly closes her mouth. You notice that she sort of has blood pulling on her chin, her neck, and down her chest.
I wave.
Can I
That's a little
go over
gross.
to Uvarth and ask what's going on?
No.
After seeing you, she starts looking like she's struggling to escape, whereas before she was more or less docile in the stocks.
Oh, she sees us, or
She sees you. She's the one who has seen you and reacted this way.
huh? Can I just say can I just take a quick as the stock during this, or
Say that a little bit again?
because is the stocks doing this to her, or is this just something else? Does it look like they're anything unique, or just stocks?
No, they look just like stocks.
Okay.
If you had to take a
I
guess, you would guess that her tongue has been pulled or cut out.
Oh, wow.
Do I recognize her?
No.
This is this that she knows. I'm assuming she's a wizard. Can I make a history check, maybe?
Sure.
Maybe. Okay. I'm good with checks today. I got a 13.
You don't know, but it's pretty safe to assume that she was in the, Wizard's Tower. She's sort of wearing, the typical garb or anything. You're not thinking she's self-trained or anything like that. Again, sort of a bit of a stretch, maybe she was trained by someone who was trained in the tower, though.
Okay. My next little thing is, we've seen that. Hold on. Where's the button? What's the general like attitude with the crowd? Is this like a public kind of hanging thing? Like, are the mages okay with this kind of thing? Like,
You're guessing it is sort of a public kind of hanging type thing. She is not marked as a slave that you can see. The townsfolk are sort of grudgingly acceptant of it.
what about the mages?
And they themselves, very specifically, are very unhappy with it.
And is he saying anything? Like, what's Uval saying?
He is not at the moment.
She's been blamed for things that we've done.
What would happen? What would happen if I walked over to Uvarth and asked what's happening?
Okay, well, hold on. Before that,
would he answer?
we're actually going to jump back to Janian, who's gone around the crowd.
Hey, he's Zydroin now, damn it.
Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. That was a legitimate slip right there.
I didn't.
Jenin comes back from the dead to introduce himself to the tree chick.
Zydroin.
Just leaks out the soul bag and guts.
And sort of goes around and, finds Bramble.
Bramble, we've returned.
She sort of snaps out of, her fascination with what's going on. Yeah, oh, it's been a while.
How long was it for you here? Because we came the day after I went back.
It's been a month.
Whoa. So it's about a month to a day, okay. What's going on with the strung up chick?
Omi, she's been accused of stealing.
Stealing what?
It was something from the Outers Hall. It didn't really get explained to us very well, but Orstat confirmed it, and the Uvoff is about to administer judgment.
Well, how's your month been?
Uneventful for the most part. This has been the largest thing that's happened for a while. Usually we don't get much in the way of thieves.
Well, wouldn't be as little to steal as would be around this area, I could imagine.
If I
Exactly.
overhear this, I just want to give Tadpole like a glance.
It's like, what are you looking at me for?
I said Tadpole, not Guts.
No, I mean, that's like what Tadpole would probably do. She's like, don't look at me.
Stop speaking for her, Guts. You're not her.
Yeah, she's actually here this time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know. What does Tadpole do?
About the chick?
No,
Oh no, about the implication.
Rambles is saying, yeah, we don't get a lot of thieves around here. And I'm like, if I hear this, I just look down at Tadpole, give her like a knowing look, like, like we're
That
gonna
could-
steal these guys.
That could be you shortly.
I am so misunderstood.
No, Tadpole, I'm like, Tadpole, we should steal those shit.
We'll think about it.
Well, how long is this expected to take for the deliberations?
Only a few minutes more.
So, evidence has already been presented and everything, or is it just working off the word of Ursat?
A little of the two combined, honestly. Orsat, again, brought the accusations to Uvoff. Uvoff and Kingo did whatever and have determined that there is guilt.
Okay,
Well, I'm just gonna watch if evidence has been provided and it's an actual standing, how things are working here at the moment. I have no reason to interfere. So yeah, I'll just stand with
By the
Bramble and
sounds of
wait
that,
until
though-
we've got free time.
I'm gonna make a scene, 'cause that's what I do.
Alright, well, hold
By
on.
the sounds of that, though, it didn't sound like evidence was provided. At least not solid evidence.
because we're going to jump back over to Rick, who has approached Uvov. He sort of sees you coming and gives you a nod and goes, "Ah, outsiders from the good lands."
Yes. It seems we have come on a...
Yes, unfortunately, this exact moment is somewhat
What be happening here?
poor. This filth, and he sort of aims a kick at her, has stolen something of immense value. Her sentencing is set to commence in about 2 minutes.
What did she steal?
She stole something from Orstats, or at least from the Outers. Oh,
Has it been found?
no, it has not.
What is it that she stole?
Who was it that accused her again?
Orstat. The gentleman right there.
So you lost a thing, and then it hasn't been found. How do you know it was her that took it?
He sort of puts on a very long and drawn out sigh and goes, "I understand where you're from, but this is a thing that we are handling. I appreciate your concern for someone. It's exactly what I would expect from someone who comes from the Holy Grounds. But this is not a time nor place for you to stick your nose in."
Come from the what? The Holy Grounds?
Yes, the Holy Grounds.
That doesn't really answer my question.
No, it doesn't.
I'm gonna approach, flanked by my honor guard.
You mean the skeletons?
They're my honor guard.
Or do you mean the rest of the party?
No, the skeletons and the dragon. Just like I'll be like standing a little bit away from Rick, maybe.
Well, we have some goods to sell. Where would we go? Is there like a public market? Are everything's pretty much the same as they were before?
There is.
Cut in half.
You'll have to head over to Bartertown. It's the area over there, collection.
I'll just interrupting the show trial.
But this is not exactly the time nor the place for that.
Well, you all should have someone greeting people coming in then.
Yes,
We
possibly.
walk in, we see a little fun little... Do you sell Stark Steel? That looks nice. Who made that?
So at this point, as we're all sort of
Interrupting.
try to interrupt and get the attention of Uvov from about a million places at once, Orstat will speak up and goes, "We've been delaying too long. We can deal with the outsiders later. Man, I cannot talk. I demand judgment to be carried out now." And Kegno speaks up. "Hear, hear." Uvov turns to you and goes, "If you'll excuse me, I'll have time for your questions in but a moment." He pulls out his holy symbol, which, as I mentioned before, is sort of half of the city now. It looks very much like the holy symbol that, the picture happens to be wearing, which, again, just very fortunate. He mumbles something, and unless no one attempts to stop him, the effects are going to take place.
Can I see what he's mumbling like real quick? Do I have a glimpse?
Let's get Arcana.
God damn. I'm still 15, but still.
You
I
have
rolled a 2.
no idea what it is. It's not even in a language you've heard before. Typically things are all sort of done together. That's the way you've been trained. You're all sort of doing this same language. This is something completely off the wall.
Now,
Can
meta...
I ask him if I can do it?
He ignores you.
Is she a citizen of the city?
I would
Yes,
I would expect that.
But
Is she a citizen of the city?
presumably yes.
you don't kill them, do you?
No, one less citizen's okay with me.
Yeah. Does anyone want me to stop it?
Oh, you kidding?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it's unfortunately, I don't think we're in a position to do so.
we
Yeah,
could take him.
Do you have hold person or anything
I have
like
a
that?
counter spell.
I don't think we should stop it, but I
Yeah,
think
why?
because we can always. It's just a person.
Out of character, like, I kind of want to stop it, but in character, Zydrome just wouldn't. As far as he's been told, evidence was provided and it's a legitimate charge, so allow things
Plus,
to
we're at
go
the
ahead.
point where we can just kind of
Yeah.
ask our corpse questions. So I think we'll use this
Yeah.
as an example to help maybe manipulate the mages out of character to our side if there seems to be such a divide. Gotta play the politic game.
All right. Will an effect that no one in the group has seen before manifests. None of the casters have seen nor heard anything beyond rumor of this. The woman ages about 100 years or so. After this sort of happens, she's released from the stocks and left to go on. She sort of picks herself up and very slowly, very, very painfully, to the hoots and jeers of the rest of the crowd, sort of makes her way back out.
On that note, who's not hooting and jeering? The mages and stuff, I assume?
Mm-hmm. Farron would not be exactly hooting and jeering. She looks more neutral, as does Lurk. Again, you don't know the names, but you can recognize the faces.
Yeah.
People who look particularly upset this has happened are Ren and the person right here who nobody has been introduced to.
Which person?
To the left of Kengo.
Weird creepy man, got it.
The one without a name.
How's Bramble react to it?
He who should not be named.
She's into it. She doesn't necessarily... I don't know. I mean, without rolling insight, you wouldn't exactly know. But she's certainly joining in on the spectacle of things.
So she's just a bystander of a public, quote-unquote, execution. Yeah.
So after having seen it, and because I want to roll more rolls to make Grim do stuff.
Okay.
Can I kind of grasp with a 30 what happened?
The spell, did what it does on the tin, It physically aged this woman about 100 years or so.
Like grasp the power level of the spell? How
Pretty high. You've never heard of anything like it before, but he's definitely somebody who's competent, however he did it. You don't think it was really a divine spell, however. You do think it was more arcane in nature.
He's a fraud.
But I mean, obviously, it's pretty high up there. It's not like super high up there, but we're talking... Again, in order to sort of be meta with it, along the lines of level 7, level 8.
On a scale of 1 to 9, Grim, how...
Yeah.
About a 7 or an
8. Just thinking, I'd probably want to talk to either Uvarth or Orstat about possibly recovering the item that's still missing for some kind of...
Give me perception checks before
monetary
you go
or-
ahead and do that. From everyone in the party.
Iron Blind is...
Perception check from everybody, you said?
Yes, please.
8. Wow.
Almost failed me.
Ooh.
Again?
I can't remember. What is inspiration? Is that advantage or is it a
Advantage.
D4?
Yeah.
It's
That's
advantage.
advantage. I'm gonna use my inspiration then, please. Because I don't want to run on that shit.
Well, I crit success.
There's two things that Rick and Tadpole notice, and then everybody else except Sideshow
Oh, he rolled.
and Adrian notices something else. Tadpole and Rick, you notice that as he's sort of, finishing up, Uvov actually takes something that he had hidden in his other hand and puts it away. And then everybody else, except for the people who were like 10s and 8s,
I
notice...
thought Sidroin actually had inspiration. Are you not actually using
Oh,
it?
I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah, I was serious when I said that.
Yeah.
I am
Okay.
using the inspiration.
I got you. Well, then you would notice it as well.
Do we know what he put away?
You
What it
do
was?
not. It appeared to be small. Certainly very easily fit into the palm of his hand.
Where did he
Not
put it?
even with a nat 20 I could make out. I don't
Now,
actually
it was a
expect-
little
I
bit
wouldn't
too
expect
small and it
that.
was sort of closed. You just noticed that something got put into, inside of his breastplate or something. Something very close to him.
Something that can be pickpocketed?
It would be really hard to do, not impossible.
Tadpole could do it. Tadpole, I believe in you.
The second thing that the people who, rolled better than an 8 notice is that the old woman, Omi, attempts to subtly get your attention and sort of, nod for you to go to the homes, again, which is this area up towards here.
Yeah, sure.
All right, but now back into the moment. The crowd is sort of starting to disperse at this point. Again, this old woman is very slowly hobbling back over to the homes. Uvov, having seen his job, goes back to what is ostensibly sort of the cleric's home. Orstat does the same, but Lurk goes back to where he goes. But then most of the other people are sort of still milling around, talking, discussing what happened, etc., etc. With the vast majority of the inhabitants as well. I'll be right back. I have to use the restroom real quick. 30 seconds
I am-
or so.
I like to cast banishment on myself.
Pocket.
To be
Yeah,
honest,
sorry.
To be honest, I'm thinking go ask Orstat what was stolen. Go talk to the chick.
We should talk to
About
her first,
what?
and Ren, I think. I think the cleric's obviously evil, which Tadpole would like.
Well, I'm going to walk with Bramble and tell her what we've bought and talk to her about the job she had for me. But we can deal with that after.
All right, I'm back.
Do you think I should make the attempt?
Cam wasn't even here.
No,
You guys think I should make the attempt, guys?
What was that?
Do you think I should make the picket?
I would not suggest doing
if
the
you want
stealing
that.
Do
and
it.
stuff.
Do it. Do it.
I certainly want to talk to Orstat and the lady
We'll
before.
talk to the lady first. Orstat seems to
Alright.
be in the wrong.
All right. I'll hold off.
I really only want to talk to Orstat to find out what we're looking for, to be honest.
I gotta tell you, something was stolen. This was just a show trial, probably.
Because
Well, why don't we
It's just a
first
something.
let's get rid of our goods right now? Because whatever we do, I don't want to be lugging around a couple carts full of stuff.
Yeah, I would kind of agree with that.
Let's unload the goods.
Well, I'd bring Bramble with me to the rest of the party and the goods then, because she's the one that was like, hey, bring stuff, and I'd be like,
Mhm.
we've got stuff like, did you or your faction want it, or does it just need to be, sold in general around here and such?
She sort of cocks her head to the side and excitedly goes, Did you bring me a gift?
Oh, we bought quite a lot actually. If
You brought me a lot of gifts.
No, not gifts. Not gifts.
No. I bought you myself personally this, and I hand her a city tracking stone.
That points the
What is
direction
that?
back to the city?
Yeah,
Okay.
and I explained
Where
to
does
her
it
what
point?
it does. Yeah, what is it doing at the moment?
So if you're using it, it's sort of pulling you back towards the other half of the city.
Ah, well, yes. Then I
Not
tell her
exactly
that
pulling, but signifying.
I tell her that in times before the split, these were used to pull back to the city, but these days it seems to draw you to the quote-unquote holy grounds.
So,
And I say,
this
"That's
is an
my
important gift.
Yes,
Oh, my.
Fair.
that's my personal gift, and we've bought a supplies to be sold, or
Bartered.
bartered. I didn't
Nice.
want to say donations because I don't want to have her expecting it to be just given out. But yeah,
Well, we can see how, and we can talk with him, but thank you for the gift. And she sort of tendrils and tentacles of twigs sort of wrap itself around this sort of amulet and embed it into her wrist, sort of like a watch would be. And after that, she's pretty chummy with you. She's trying to make some sort of small amount of physical contact.
this is okay, and I apologize and hope that it makes up for the whole, just appearing out of her magically one day.
But if you've got things to barter, again, we should go see how.
But first, I'd like to mention everyone. Do you like the left rectangle or the right rectangle more?
Yes.
The right rectangle. Because it's closer to Uvar, so we can stab him in his sleep.
Oh, okay, I would say, but okay, you got the right idea. Like, yeah, with the lumber and stuff, that wasn't really to sell. That was more for me to make a giant house. 'Cause I'm a carpenter, motherfuckers. You ever seen Home Improvement? I'm Al, not Tim. Oh, wait, is it the other way? Which one's the competent one again? Is it Al? It's Al, right?
It's Al.
Yeah, I'm Al.
It's the neighbor. It's the neighbor's
Oh,
the closest one.
he's just the wise man who knows all. We've never seen his chin.
That's Wilson.
Nope.
I
We've never
have.
seen Will. Do we ever seen his chin, or we see nothing but his chin? I forget.
We see his eyes.
Yeah, I want to know what his chin looks like, man.
I've
It's a
seen his
majestic
chin. You
jawline.
gotta look out for it. It's in there. It's in there. You gotta find it.
So, do we head over towards sort of the barter town?
Yeah, we need to get rid of our stuff.
Okay, well,
So-
you go and meet Hal. Hal, Bramble says to Hal, these people, they've brought goods. They want to trade. Let's go over and see what deals we can make. And Hal is very sort of obviously pleased with this, but sort of a grumpy individual. Goods to trade. I'm not sure what they want, but let's go take a look. Bring your goods over. I'll give everything a quick once-over. What is it that you're looking for?
What's
Pulls out
Tends
bone
to
wall.
be
Do you have
used.
any of these?
Well, I mean, obviously they want practically everything that you've brought with you. But they don't have a ton of things to really trade.
do they
Oh,
have
you should
some form
probably
of
trade
currency?
from maps and stuff of the area, but they've like mapped out.
They say there is no map. It's impossible to map everywhere around. If you find a map, it would be just the most treasurely of treasures you could find. So much so that the notion of it is somewhat ridiculous to me.
Okay, I see no cartographers survive this side out of character. But if time's shifting, you can probably map the distortions. Fucking
So,
basic. Yeah,
government in this half, the city government. I know the Senate was destroyed. The Senate building was destroyed. But is there like a central government in this when the city was whole?
No, not exactly. Also, I should point out that this is not representative of the half of the city of itself. This is just a small town inside the wider half.
Center, like
Oh,
the
I see.
center,
I see.
center half, where the nobles lived.
Asking around, you would find out that Kegno is sort of the de facto leader of the settlement, but it sort of works on a Senate system. All the big names have a say in sort of what goes on. And that's,
Name?
super easy information.
Ask him. Yeah. Would you guys? Would you guys actually have just scavenged stuff? I assume from the night gesture off to the distance where all the weird shit is.
Mostly, yes. Honestly, at this point in time, we don't really have anything of high value. Another caravan just came by about a week or so ago and took what we had. Of course, they headed back into, the unknown, so without a guide or anything, they're as good as dead. But most things, of course, when they come in from the claimers, they get parsoned and rationed out to those that need them.
I say we set up our building about here, and then we can just run our own shop.
Make your rectangle.
See, the thing is, we could probably just tell this guy to scoot. We become the new Bartertown king. Like, he doesn't have anything of value. We have the things of value. We have what he wants. He doesn't have what we want.
They don't have money. They have nothing to trade for. It's the issue.
That's not how you're the king of Bartertown. You don't want things when you're king of
how many-
Bartertown. You're wanted.
I heard you say Grim, but I didn't hear anything after
Because
that.
I was trying not to talk over him.
Gotcha.
The water generation items. How many did we bring?
Again, we're kind of didn't really... we opted not to put numerical values on things.
Well, I'm saying like
but,
we have like a.
you got 3 or 4.
We have enough to make like a fountain or something.
Yeah.
Any sort of water source? Okay, I'm gonna ask you like food source here besides just. I think we heard someone just mention scavenging for it. Have the druids up yet?
Yeah, if you sort of got a back and forth, you would know that all food and water goes into the time's respite, and then gets rationed out from there.
Guys, we should. When we make our compound, we should make a fountain. We should hold water.
We could do.
But also, we have a druid and we have seeds.
Yeah.
I think we should up our own little grove here.
And then Bramble
Yeah.
can move in.
Yeah, she can be your dryad.
Yeah.
And you can have little saplings.
I mean, I'm not sure how we would make said saplings, but yeah.
Ooh, you would pollinator seed.
They don't have anything like if they just have like general good, nothing like magical in nature or anything like anomaly wise specific to this side. I think we just offer him a token gift and then go about our way. Be the best way.
How do
We can make
you-
a friend.
I forget how you whisper to people again. Ugh.
/W.
/W,
It didn't
yeah.
bring up. There it goes that time.
Mason type of name. I just switched.
I noticed.
Yes, I agree with Rick, so we can kill. We gotta get rid of Uvalf, but I think the mages either or better gift, and then we can be a buffer between them and Orsax. They might have some issue, it seems. And then we'll also need a Bardo Town. We can bribe Fat Man. He'll be a friend. And then we may make a deal with Lurk about rations and stuff. But then we need to talk to Old Lady Man.
Well, if we set up or pick somewhere to set up our own compound / building, then yes, I can start work on some form of grove. Because I mean, I've got like erupting earth and stuff like that, so I can make a farm plot and everything, even if we've got concrete or stone floorings.
Tadpole.
Then I've got everything else.
Yes.
Perception check.
Hmm?
Did we just get pickpocketed, Tadpole? Save us.
Oof, okay.
Owl help?
Continue on.
All right.
Adrian, roll us for initiative.
I don't know why that happened.
Only as owl.
So there is no central government, right? So who? So
there is
the-
like an organized government. Anything that comes in basically goes through Kegmo.
Okay, so can I ask Kagan? Can we barter for pardons against future potential infractions?
I don't think she's the one that did that. I think that was mostly the cleric. He seems sketchy as fuck.
I mean, like, if you find her, flag her down, she would go, "What? No!"
All right. Never heard that.
You're dragging. You live forever. You don't have to worry about a few hundred years is nothing to you.
Yeah, but that's assuming they just make me older.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, like
And
it
I'm
could actually be.
saying, gee, I'm worried about you guys. I'm a model non-citizen. You guys, different story.
I don't think we're a model for anything.
We're bottled for fuck ups.
Well, I tell you what, I know what we can barter for: land in the city.
Oh,
You're right.
Why don't we just barter for land in the
I
city?
was assuming
And then when
we
the
just
city-
take it,
What's that?
and we would just take it.
Yeah. Like find a patch of area that no one else has claimed, and hey,
Oh, so the city is not completely occupied then. So there is open, unclaimed
is that-
space in the
As I
city.
was saying, do you left the right? I made 2 rectangles. Which one do you guys like more?
I made a small one too.
Oh, but
They made
Grit-
one by Barter
so-
Town.
So there is unclaimed land in the city space,
Yeah.
There is land without buildings on it.
but is it owned by anybody?
You would not know this at that point in time.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't know. We haven't asked all the land.
Well, that's because if they don't have
We'll
anything
find out
to,
when we set up.
if they don't have any physical to barter with, we can get buildings and or land, the deeds to these things, and then when the city is reunited, they might have a lot more value.
They're not. the official city government doesn't exist on this side. They've just made their own township to survive.
So they probably won't need things like
Nothing
deeds and things
would
to own
be
land.
and
And
publicly recognized by Thorgrim and Company, for example.
Or we could barter for slaves.
Why do you want to buy slaves?
To set them free? Like, what else is she gonna do?
I assume make them her
the
cleaning
slave
crew.
talking about bartering for slaves is like, so guys, what do you want? Like, I'll put myself
I'm
out.
just trying to think of things that they might have of value. Thinking outside the box here.
Yeah, let's ask how. How does land work here? Like owning land. Like how do we set up like a building?
You're planning on staying?
At least for some time.
The way we see it is, you have all these. You don't have an official city, old Holy Land, whatever the terminology is, chartered.
Look, don't listen to
company
Uvov. That's all bullshit.
Yeah, he seems weird. And that wasn't city magic either. Anyone with any know-how would see that. He's into something else there.
He shrugs. I don't know too much about that. I usually stay away from that kind of thing.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. But yeah, we're thinking of setting up a place where, I'm sure you remember the good old days, the chartered companies, or one of them. This is the new frontier we have.
Yeah?
So let me make sure I understand. So they don't have much to actual physically barter with as far as gold
Correct.
or
Not at the
the hope.
moment.
So the only things I can think of would be slaves and land, unless you can think of something else that would be, because I really don't want to hang on to our stuff. I want to get rid of it as fast as I can,
The
unencumbered.
reason we got it is to hang on to it, though. It's all bartering goods. It's all bribes and stuff. I don't think we actually came here with intentions to sell anything. They don't have any money. We came here just to be rich and make people want our stuff.
I mean, I personally, I was under the assumption that it was, essentially going to be like a donation or a gift to the place.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking earlier, but we addressed that.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, if anything,
Giving
I
it to
reckon we
people-
set up our own shop and
Example,
have people
I'm
come
fine
barter
with
with
giving
us.
some stuff to the mages because they'll probably, I don't know, sigh. But it seems like Orstat and the weird fucking cleric aren't getting shit. I'm sure Lurk would be able to make some deals with us. We gotta make our network of allies here. You know what I mean? This is how we do it.
Yeah, I sort of feel like
Yeah,
we
that's another
basically
option.
keep enough stuff for ourselves to make some sort of compound, at least a farm or something.
Yeah.
But we do just give them just some free shit, just help out.
Yeah,
'cause,
it
like,
seems like
they
for example,
really need it.
Guts. Can you give me a perception check, please?
Sure thing.
Good luck, Guts. Do your bardic ministry. Oh, you don't know how to do it, so never mind.
Oh,
There you go, Guts.
much better than the last two.
You would see a gentleman who looks incredibly shady, attempting to sort of very subtly get your attention.
Can I bring Sorry, the picture just popped up.
Yeah.
And he talks like the shopkeeper from
Resident
Resident
Evil.
Evil.
That's what I was
Welcome,
thinking
stranger.
when I
Welcome, stranger. What are you buying?
I guess I'll nudge. Who's the closest to me?
whoever you want to be.
Yeah.
Okay,
Make it
Zydron.
me.
I'm gonna tap Zydron, like, say, hey, look, I think that guy's trying to get our attention. I think-
I'll follow you over, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna approach him.
Would I
and-
notice them walking away?
Yeah, I mean, that's fairly obvious.
Yeah.
I'll just follow them.
Yeah, no, I
He
thought
tries
we were
to
all standing in a group.
He tries
yeah,
to nondescriptly
okay.
pull Guts over, and then all of a sudden the entire party
Yeah.
storms him.
A
Yeah,
fifth
like,
of
"Ah!"
the group sort of walks away, and he just turns around.
Yeah, like, if anything,
Come on.
one or two people maybe.
But I want to continue with Hall. Like, so I'm gonna look him up and down. Little insight check.
This is
I
Hal,
fucking-
or this is the other person?
Well, I was gonna, yeah, it was the other person definitely. I
Okay.
was just gonna see like, does he seem like the kind of guy you get the cool shit from? But I don't know because I failed my insight check.
Yeah, you don't know.
And the
Alright.
whole
Oh.
factor of he walks away if the entire party starts paying attention to him.
Mm-hmm. So he's just gonna be.
Thank you, right?
So the rest of us notice that Gut
Yeah,
and Zydron are walking away.
it's
Oh
not
yeah.
my fault.
Well, then
Do we
I
see
will.
who they're walking to?
I'll give the old fucking wave of the hand behind the back, motioning for people to stay the fuck back, because obviously, you know, he's trying to do this nondescriptly. But I'm also
No
not
way,
going
I'd
to
be
let
like,
Gut go over by herself.
Yeah, I'll also do a motion like shoo.
next week,
To
maybe I was
everyone.
just the
How
tadpole
far
after
away
that.
is he though?
Just
He's probably 10, 15 feet away.
further away. What's wrong with these people?
They're pretty
Well, I
small.
mean, it's basically a factor of do we want to deal with him or not? Because if we want to deal with him, only one or two people will be able to go over and deal with him. If
Yeah, so-
everyone wants to storm his castle, then he's just going to disappear.
That's why I'm thinking, why we didn't notice him, and I assume Guts was just like, you know, tapping Zydro, and you know, like we don't know about this.
So the rest of us are having a conversation with whom? With
That is-
Kegno?
It's more
Hal.
with Hal. We just sort of
Hal.
stopped by to speak with Kegno to, you know, answer a quick question, basically. Haven't
Okay,
even been
okay.
officially introduced.
And as we go over, I will prepare this, but obviously not cast it.
Action, do you need to prepare it?
Actually, yeah, I may not. No, it's so I can use it reactively if I need to without having
So
to.
who goes over?
Just the
Just
two
me
that
and
was
Guts.
Okay.
I, however, would like to talk to Hal in a little louder voice, asking him about what they might have for barter, but in Thieves' Cant, try to address the person that they are approaching, saying, "What is your intention?"
Damn it.
If he recognizes that or not.
Yeah.
Thieves' Cant isn't a language like that, though.
If you would, but at the same time,
If you read
he's-
Thieves' Cant, hold on, I'll read a Thieves' Cant here.
you have like you're saying a lot of these people like would notice, but at the same time, he's trying to be discreet again. He's not gonna yell it over or do something noticeable.
Yeah.
Just let them talk to him. That's it. We're talking to him. I don't see why this is such a thing.
All right.
Grim is trying to introduce us to his cock accent, guys. Come on. Right, Grim?
Wow.
Grim?
I didn't hear what you said over Grimm's keyboard, yeah.
I was saying Grim's trying to introduce us to his Cockney accent, you know, right, Grim?
Right.
What are you doing, strangers? Now, stranger, that's a weapon.
Maybe it sound like I haven't done British accents before.
I also don't walk up like I'm. I guess
So as you
on
walk
guard.
towards him, he walks away, and then stops and waits for you to follow him, basically.
Yeah.
Without turning, but you know, you can tell when you're following.
This is by watches from in New York City, you know what I mean? Zoop is his trench coat, all these fake Rolexes.
I'm doing the old kind of looking like a bodyguard behind Guts, like
Mhm.
a step or two back and just slightly to her side and everything.
So eventually he leads you deeper into the homes. And he goes inside one of the homes and leaves the door open.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
It's okay. I've got hold person prepared, and I can also just blow his house up. So can you. We got this.
True.
Yeah, like you both can nuke the entire city at this point.
If
True.
Yeah.
if you get hurt, I'm gonna instantly know where you are anyway.
What magic's
And
fun
Alright.
that? I should learn that.
So yes, we walk in.
You see the old woman that you saw before, who was turned into the old woman. The door closes behind you. She stands up, and she approaches you.
The old lady, I would have been. Oh,
It's a she?
oh,
It was a she.
this
Oh,
the guy that let you, the old lady that got aged in front of us. She's with him.
Yes. She stands up, and she takes you both and draws you into a large hug. And there are tears streaming from her eyes.
I'm just like,
I'm gonna like.
what?
I am gonna. I guess I'll like kind of stiffen a little bit, but I don't know this lady.
Yeah, it's for me. It's just like complete dumbfounded. Like, what?
Not gonna say anything yet, but internally I'm thinking, do I know this lady?
She opens her mouth, and you can see where she had her tongue cut off. And she puts her finger to the lips, for the traditional, be quiet symbol, and she puts something into your hands. It's an incredibly aged and weathered piece of paper. She shakes her head no, and she sort of gestures all around her. And then she points towards her eyes, and then her mouth, or the stump of her tongue. And then she looks at you and is like, get it?
There's eyes and ears around. So
Yeah.
we have to be quiet. And
I need water,
Maybe
basically.
is
Damn
there
it.
something on the paper, or
Oh,
is it
yeah.
just like,
What?
well, can we read paper?
Does that join as your intelligence
Oh.
5? Because I think you can still read then.
This is also going to exist shortly in the Discord, because the resolution, isn't the greatest.
Yeah.
Grim, did you give us a paper you put coffee stains on purpose on?
You know what? I did way more than that. I took so much time doing this thing.
It's
like
actually really cool. Yeah.
ridiculous. What you do is you pour coffee on there, and then you slowly heat it up in the oven, and it stains it all. It's supposed to, burn and crisp the edges, and then it's supposed to do all the wrinkles as well too, and burn them.
You're just
But it
burying
obviously
it too.
didn't do it.
That's
You-
cool.
It is
You
actually
get
really cool. Yeah.
dirt. It's nice. I love it.
My handwriting is terrible, by the way. I tried to be as careful as I could, but it appears to be a map of the half of the city, made by many different hands, passing things down. People are writing and scrawling their thoughts upon it and all that. It's sort of a jumble and a gibberish and all that, but it does exist, and it's in your hands right now. And so we'll try to get it going again.
I make like a writing paper and scribbling thing. Like I want to asking if she's got pen and paper or something.
She pulls some out, yes.
And I
And
will,
there it should exist in the normal Discord. Which again,
And
you can
I-
definitely see it much better there.
I don't know.
I'll
I think
start
the
out
one with Voltron is
by
actually slightly
writing-
bigger.
greater restoration ? Or restoration ? And then point
Well,
at her.
She shakes her head.
I'll just nod. Who are you? I'll just basically talk, but
Don't
it's
talk.
being written instead.
Talk bad.
Sure. She says, "You don't know me yet, but And yet a sort of a question mark. And goes, but we met before. Or after.
Guys, it's one of her descendants from the future.
She's a time traveler. She's a time lady.
Guys, we can go back and kill ourselves to stop me from happening. Let's do it.
Oh my god.
Uvath. Oh. What happened with Uvath?
This map. They found out about it.
Why trust us?
We have a history? And again, she puts a question mark behind it.
She knows as soon as
History
I
or
meet her, I'm probably
possible
going to
future?
probe that mind. Grib, you assume all these altruistic tendencies with us, I swear.
I think I'm one of the only one with altruistic tendencies in this party.
I'm
What was that,
neutral.
JD? Sorry, is that Joan?
Yeah. Past or possible future?
My past, apparently your future.
Does Guts have anything that she wishes to ask or write? Since
Guts,
it was,
do you
know,
feel the
technically-
covert connection with her?
Considering it was technically Guts that they called for at first.
Oh no,
And I
they
was
just...
Well, I'm
They
just the
didn't-
one who saw her.
Oh, yeah. No,
I
it was a
mean-
perception roll only for you, remember?
No, remember Tadpole
Was
rolled
it?
too, though. I think she missed. That was what
No,
was
I
happening.
think Tadpole's one was for something different. I think that's
Well-
for something that Tadpole was doing.
I'm guessing what do they want us to do?
She sort of writes quickly now.
What do you want? Or need?
Just nothing.
So you just want us to have the map and make sure no one else gets it.
I'll be fine eventually.
Is there anything we can do for you?
Not yet. Maybe sometime in the future. Keep a lookout.
Alright.
With that then, I will very carefully roll the map up if Guts doesn't have any issue with it, and I'll take the map.
Yeah, that's fine.
I've just marked it on my equipment sheet as city map.
She nods to you both and gives you both a quick kiss on the cheek.
I give her a little pat on the back and then I guess a slight bow as we turn towards the door.
Yeah. If I could smile, I would, but
And
Show those
the
pearly
paper-
whites.
The paper we've actually been writing on, I will use that to get rid of.
Yeah.
And then we will return to the party, and I wouldn't bring it up straight away in public, but I will show them it later and tell them what happened when we're away from prying eyes.
And as you can see, as you're leaving the building, she is visibly torn or exhausted from that little bit of interaction, and she goes and lays down.
What does Buddy Boy do? Does he follow us or stick with her?
He
And what
goes
was
out
he doing?
and he leaves to follow you, and the next thing you notice, he's not behind you anymore.
I love
Okay.
that guy.
Yeah, I don't mind, Mr. Merchant. We will return to the party and just slip back into the group, I guess.
At this point, you come back, and I have Howie upside down trying to jingle all the coins out of the fat pan. Give us,
And-
release yours. No, I have a gift for this.
If anyone goes to question or ask, I'll just shake my head and blow them off for now, and give give the old later signal.
So if you are looking for slaves, Tadpole, you're getting the impression, and it's sort of never really answered clearly, almost as if they're embarrassed by that. But you sort of get, we don't really do that around here.
Do what?
Slaves.
Slavery.
So I'm looking around. Do I see people with markings, slave brands? Like
You would, yes.
Okay, well, I point to one that I see that's a slave branding. What do you mean? Right there.
That's old.
I mean, everyone's still from the city, aside from the outsiders like Lurk and Orsted, I'd assume.
So there are no more slaves.
No. It's hard enough as it
Except,
is. You can't have people
You still
who
work
resent
for
each
us.
other.
Okay, now I'm confused. So
You
I am
still
no
work
longer
for
a
us,
slave?
though. Don't
I
go getting
think-
any ideas.
I think what
Don't go getting
happened.
any ideas.
I think what happened is that due to circumstances and everything, the old ways of the shifting city have been changed for this new area because it's a different kind of living circumstance. It's not a hierarchy system of, the rich, the poor, the citizens, and slaves, and everything like that. Everyone's in the same boat now, barely struggling to get by, while the only safe area is this little township as far as we know.
That's
Would
how they
that
want
be
people to believe too.
roughly how it is now, Grim?
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously things are much more of a meritocracy when, survival's on the line.
So essentially we're still branded as slaves and everything, but no one's going to treat us as a slave here like they might do in the other half of the city, who are still months behind and stuck in time.
Well, I have an idea. Is Howe a merchant?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, then why don't we give this what we've got to Howe to sell on commission?
Because they don't have money. It's
I know,
barter
but he
town.
can. But he can try to barter and save, and we'll give him a cut of what we earn. Either way, if it's for more goods. You ever see I got a paperclip, trader paperclip up for a house, that kind of thing.
He's willing to do it, but I mean, he certainly cautions you against going outside of, the end of time, which is what they call the city.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just trying to think of a way to quickly and profitably get rid of the goods that we brought over.
That's not the point of the goods.
Yeah,
The
I don't think
bribes.
we need to.
Oh,
quickly or profit
I might
free.
disagree with you there. That was wholly the point of it, depending, at least in my opinion, it was.
I have to ask: is this in character or out of character? You're talking.
This is in character. No, this is in
Yeah,
character.
okay,
Totally in
alright.
character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I to me, it's all about A, me, and B, the party.
Yeah.
Other people, you guys are my clan, so I'm concerned about the clan, the well-being of the clan. But other people,
I give Tadpole a little head pat. I love you too, Tadpole.
He is willing to, quote unquote, watch and barter your goods on commission.
I mean,
I mean,
out of
we can
character,
give
I,
them the-
I reckon we just set up our own shop, set up a compound or a facility, and
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. If we wanted to claim a place, is there any sort of protocol we have to follow, or can I just make a house appear from thin air?
You'd have to talk with Kegno, but typically she doesn't allow people to do that. You're not the first to try to come in and do something like that, and generally they get rabble-roused on out of there, if you will.
well, let me ask a question, player to players. Are we wanting to be shop owners, or are we wanting to go more on the adventuring route?
Well, we're going to explore we have to find the dipshits in the other part of the city to get the thing we need to do the plot thing.
Yeah. So my suggestion is let him take care of our stuff for us,
Well, yeah, that's
do
what I'm
it,
saying. Yeah, I'm
and then
fine
we
with-
can move on rather than play time setting up shops and making arrangements and things like that.
Well, I'm saying, yeah, we can give him, some of the like food and luxury, like stuff like that, but other stuff like, you know, the armor, weapons, you know, maybe the medical supplies, we want to keep to who's potential, because we haven't even talked to anybody yet. All we know is that Uvov's a piece of shit, and Orstat's probably a piece of shit. But we haven't even talked with the mages, the reclaimers yet. We haven't made friends with Kegno, the new Janian.
Yeah.
Like, I'm saying we probably give medical supplies and the alchemy supplies to the mages. They'll probably be our allies. 'Cause they weren't happy when Uvov did this. They weren't. From what I understand, there's a bit of contention between the powers that be. And from what I understand now, that Kegno is like, no, you can't be like no, Kegno. We're establishing a place. You don't have a choice in this.
You can try rebel rouse us out of here, but frankly, we've got 3 pretty powerful spellcasters. Do you want to try it?
Yeah, like, there may be protocol that we can follow, but protocol might
Like,
actually
to be fair, and as well, I only have a limited amount of people here. But, like, each of these buildings are like entities. You know, there's 40 or 50 people to each.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have these goods and services no one else has. You join us and get them.
Well, that's not necessarily true because our other caravans were coming in before us and were lined up after us. So there will be a constant flow of goods.
Yes, but with the time factor, that's weeks later. Every
Yeah, like-
caravan that
The caravan directly behind us is probably still a month behind us, or
Yeah.
you know, a couple of weeks at least.
Let me put it this way:
behind.
when I was sending Troll, it wasn't instantaneous. It took 5 minutes for him to respond, and that 5 minutes, he kept saying, "It's been weeks since I've heard from you." There's a time
We
I
figured it was a day to a month, right?
Roughly,
No.
like there's
It's-
no guarantee that it's a set defined time. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just what.
Well, also, let me
It
put this
happens
way: when Zyjoy and did the tree thing, he stayed here for an entire day. When he came back, it was literally not even a second later.
Yeah, like
He saw himself
their
leaving.
side, yeah. I
Technically
basically
created an
walked through the
infinite
tree for these guys, but I spent 24 hours here.
Well, I'll do whatever the party wishes. Just as a player, I don't want to spend a lot of time doing the minutia of setting up a shop and making contracts and yada
We're
yada.
not
Oh,
really
no,
going to be
neither.
doing that,
Yeah,
unless
all
it's
right.
going to probably be handmade. We're just trying to. We have to, have like a little base maybe set up.
Yeah.
Get a lay of the land. We have the map now, but we still don't know anything about the time shit. And we seem as also like besides the combat we'll probably have with weird abominations like Bramble, Treewife. There's also, Uvov's obviously sketchy as shit, and Orstat's probably weird. We know her somebody from the future apparently. And then the mages are probably cool, maybe the druids. But I guess I would be perfectly fine with giving some of our supply to make money off of to show that we have stuff. Like, I would definitely give some of the... I'm okay with some of the clothing, some of the, like, rations and stuff, maybe some of the lumber, or some of, like, the paper and stuff, the utilities I'll be happy with, but, like, salt, spices, we should take that directly to Lurk, make a deal with him. The suppliers and stuff probably give to whatever factions we make friends with to ingratiate ourselves. The alcohol, just to sell alcohol.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm not a big fan of giving away to ingratiate unless absolutely necessary. I'm I'd rather bribe than.
It is a bribe. It is a bribe. The whole point is of being a bribe.
Yeah.
Be
All
our
right.
friends. We'll give you this.
We need information. We need resources. We have all this stuff from the Holy Lands that they don't have because they're poor, shitty hobos.
All right. So what's the plan then? So what's the next thing we do? What are we going to give stuff to How to sell?
We'll give
Some
them
stuff at
some
least.
supplies, yes.
All right. So is How open to doing that for us?
Yes. And if you'd like for me to do it, mark on the sheet next to it that you want him to look over it. Like, we'll do specific items, so...
I'm assuming really just like maybe some. What do we have 2 sheets for this?
Sundry stuff, I'd say.
Yeah, sundry stuff. Let's use the shopping list rather than the party loot. 'Cause that's just
Yeah,
there's 2 of them. It's
I-
weird.
the
I
party
think
loot.
one of them
I'll,
was just an accident.
I'll take the
Yeah.
party loot off.
Yeah, I'm gonna edit the shopping list. I'm assuming I'm just gonna cross out or like underline what we give to him. So I'm thinking clothing, maybe some like soap and stuff, like the toiletries underline.
Well, what are you wanting to keep? Let me ask that instead.
Yeah, that
That's
would
easier.
probably be the easier thing. What do we keep?
Well, I think we should keep like obviously the like the building stuff because I wanted to build ourselves an actual place. Alcohol, because alcohol is always a bartering thing. Anything more luxury, like the furs, skins, spices, and salts, we should keep. And obviously, we want to also puzzle in, and 'cause they don't have any druids making stuff supposedly, so we want to keep the seeds and stuff for ourselves. We want to control that.
I reckon we want
Okay,
to
you join the Imperius company, you can have all of this if you join us. You just have to sign a blood ritual. Don't worry about it.
I reckon we keep building supplies, magic supplies like the water generation items and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm going to bold anything we're keeping just for the sake of it.
But basically anything that you might take on an adventure, we should keep. And the stuff that you would leave at home when you go out adventuring, we should give to Hal.
Oh, lumber, I'm not taking when I go adventuring.
Oh,
that's-
yeah, but
that's
that's under the building supplies. I was meaning besides the building supplies and the arcane things, and I guess.
Oh, yeah, like we'll probably sell them the soap, the ink, the animal feeds. That's all stuff we're selling. Paper, ink, and
Okay,
quills. Maybe
Clarify one thing for me. Why do we want to build a building of any kind? Why?
Because I feel like we'll be on this side of the city for at least a few sessions.
Yeah, then we rent a room.
Where there's
we're making a power base here.
there's
I
no real rooms. Like
Fix
everyone's
the,
living in hovels.
Okay, let's ask Cal if there's a place that we could use as a base of operations that we can rent. I'm just thinking lumber, building a building for a short
I'm
term.
a carpenter. I can just make one appear magically.
Well,
with my
perfect. Then
spells.
get rid of the lumber.
That's the whole point of the lumber. That's what we were doing with it. I've said this like twice at least. The lumber's for us. We're using it. I'm fabricating a building, and we're using walls of stones and the bone walls to fortify it. We have the water and the seeds to make people want to come to us because we have renewable resources which no one else has. And if the mayor has an issue, we're killing the mayor.
Oh, that's
'Cause
fine.
it-
I don't
it's
see
what
the
we
value in it. I don't see the value in it, honestly, because I'm sure we
Because
could
other
actually find
people
it.
like to do stuff besides just combat.
I know.
What
No,
do you
I
mean?
understand. I understand.
Something
I'm just
hasn't
sharing my opinion. I'll go along. I just don't see the value in it. I
The
think it
whole
would
point
be
of my
easier to-
character is to be the crafter and builder. I haven't been able to do that in months.
I understand. That's fine. I'm just throwing my opinion out there. All right.
Either
But
way,
it's also been
as well.
a three-way conversation right now. We haven't heard from two of them for quite a while either.
I'm assuming
True.
Rick's eating all the candy bars. See Discord.
Rick's just sitting in the corner licking candy bars.
Yeah.
All that chocolate we bought
see that.
gone.
Oh yeah.
Chocolate.
Like, he shouldn't have left me alone with the supplies.
All the beer is gone.
But either way, in addition to the question, because it was asked of how, in Time's Respite is like in as well as
Yeah.
a commissary type deal.
Guts, what are your thoughts?
Guts.
About
And while, of course, you all surprise me, my intent is for you to be on this sort of half of the map, as it were, for quite some time.
This
That
half?
This
Yeah.
is, sort of your base of operation.
Well, I'm assuming it's going to be a while until we find Magic Skeleton Man and get the thing back to do the thing to do the plot.
Don't get me
No.
wrong, you guys always surprise me, but, We are here now. We are actually not under a time limit for once.
Would you be surprised if I just banished Uvoth to Blunderland? That's pretty high on the list of to-do things.
Gosh. Don't
You
be
not
the one who does a thing in this town.
I mean,
Hey, he can't punish Tadpole if he's dead.
You know,
that is also true.
catch me first.
That's the big issue is you ain't gonna catch Tadpole.
Yeah, too. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was looking to tell. Like, they don't have thieves here. They're screwed with us
I
around.
mean, a
Sir,
lightning
stop
spell
drawing
might-
stuff all over.
What?
No.
I said stop drawing stuff all over the map.
I don't know. Greens, because we made a deal with them. We don't like these two, supposedly. And we don't know about the other places. I'm just going to also draw this prematurely. Hold on a second. Yeah, let me just get this going for you, Grim. There you go. I'd like to go intimidate the mayor now. Anybody else want to flex on her?
No, I'm staying as far away from Miss Muscly Lady. Normally I wouldn't, but if you're going to go antagonize her, I'm staying away.
Well, no, if she just allowed us build a magic fortress of doom, then
if
I'm
we-
going to...
If we actually need her permission to build a building, please come.
Yes, you're the charisma.
You
You're
are
the
our
chief
talker.
negotiator.
Fine.
And you give
Fine.
inspiration.
So you want to convince her to let us build a magic fortress on this side of the city?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's
I do
what
have
we're all
Necessarily a
building.
fortress.
I do have
I'll
one
leave
question
him
about
I'll
building
leave him
something.
well.
If
Okay.
the city shifts again, my recollection is the shifting can create a lot of damage to buildings in certain parts of the place,
Mhm.
right?
But the shitty, let me put it this way: the whole plot line, as far as
Shitty.
I'm grasping from Grim again, because that's why that's the point of I don't know what's really is happening, is that it's not shifting until
Not
we shift
currently,
it.
I understand. Yet
Plus,
is
That's
the word
the
there.
plan.
like it's also really like this building can just be disposable between me and Adrian. We can
We can
get
literally just make stone appear from nowhere. We
yeah,
can.
I can
Yeah.
make stone just erupt from the earth and create buildings out of that, and then with
Then
Adrian,
why do we need lumber?
Wood's nice.
Because it looks
You
better.
want to sleep on a
It
wood?
looks
I don't know,
so
man.
much better to have a wood house than a stone house.
Yeah, we have wood paneling and stuff like that. Have you not seen the mansion?
Oh man. Okay. Okay.
Plus, it's
Okay.
ostentation. It's also a power move because we're the only one with it. Like, I'm assuming the rest of them are like living in kind of Fallouty land where it's like it's buildings and
weird
stuff. And it
flex.
still looks like it's a flex.
Yeah,
You
it's
join
a
our
weird
power
flex.
base. This is what you get.
Okay.
this is what you get. You get to live in something resembling civilization again, as opposed to
you know-
basically living in the Mojave.
Yeah.
You know what we have that everyone else doesn't have? We have hardwood floors, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, this is like post-apocalyptic. They don't even have druids here besides spirit, maybe.
Anyhow. All right, let's move on. Where
I'd
do we
like
go?
to, I'd like to think that all happened. All of you just sort of looked slack-jawed and are distantly staring at some point, like 20 meters away. And Hal's just sort of waving his hands in front of you, trying to get your attention.
Oh yeah, we're using the telepathic communications. So we're having an internalized debate here. Don't worry about it.
Then all of a sudden we're just
Okay,
like,
so,
pop up and we're like, all right, so we're gonna go see Kenko.
Okay, so
he just gets shocked. This is the first
Back-
thing we've said.
back on the track here. If you look at the editing shopping list, which I'm about to make one more last alteration to real quick.
Oh, excuse me.
What did you do, Grim? How dare you need to be excused?
I burped. Didn't you hear me?
There is
No, actually.
Oh, good.
Okay, the bold, I just updated. The bold is what we keep for the power-based stuff. Underline is what we're giving to him, and anything that's not touched at all is like, why do we have nails twice, by the way? And paper and stuff twice.
Because there was some stuff like that. Don't forget, we've all been throwing stuff onto the list, and Guts basically just copy-pasted from Discord.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that's basically like the blacks. The bold is what we're probably keeping. The line is like we're giving this to him, and the paper. The regulars like, do we want to give him the rope? Do we keep the wagons? Foods, we're keeping some of it. I assume that's kind of like I'm sure we're splitting that evenly.
I'd keep
so-
the wagon.
Yeah,
So the
at least
bold-
one
all of
wagon.
that.
Say
all
that
of
one more
the
time.
Facts that aren't bold
I'll type.
should-
Hold on.
The bold we are keeping for ourselves.
All right.
The underlined we are giving to him to attempt to barter.
All right.
And the regular is sort of 50-50?
Yeah,
Well,
give
I
or
think-
I
take.
reckon.
I think the
debate.
regular could be the stuff that we just donate, honestly, because that is really the brass tacks of the base stuff that, in most civilization you would just consider as commonplace.
Then, if we were just going to give away the normal, I would bold the wagon,
well,
Oh, yeah.
Or-
Aside from the
or at
wagons,
least-
we keep the
or at
wagons.
least just keep
Ta-
one. of the
Tadpole
wagons.
has a serious issue with giving stuff away. Just giving stuff away,
We
unless it's
know, because
yeah.
we know how
That's
much he
alright,
likes to
that's
take
alright,
things
you're
as opposed to give
You're
it away.
outvoted.
Tadpole,
So-
I'd like to just say I activate my chaos control.
And
So-
we are all aware you don't like giving things away, but you are also outvoted.
Well, we haven't taken a vote. How do you settle? How do you know?
Three of us are talking
Should we
about doing
should
it.
we take a vote?
I
Yeah,
suggest
but we've also been talking out of character for the past 10 minutes.
I understand. So let's take a vote.
Definitely longer than 10 for the record, but
Yeah.
that's okay.
Take a vote.
Half of this video is just, as I told you guys, it's going to be a recap episode.
I know, right? But it's fine.
Yeah, to be fair, like we did kind of need it because Tadpole has been away.
Yeah, yeah,
Daddy's
of
been
course.
away for a month.
All right. So let's take a vote.
So, who wants to just
Say-
give it away?
One vote is like what I've said. One vote is give everything to Bramble. One vote is Tadpole. I don't know. What are we voting on? Like the list we just edited? Or
Minus
Tadpole?
the wagons, my vote would be add the wagons to we keep, and besides that, I'm happy with everything else being how we've just talked about it just now.
Same.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And that's in character and out of character.
Yes.
I would be happy with
Yes.
that.
Okay. And the other vote is then to sell and keep, and that's it.
Yeah.
But unless we want to use something for a bribe or something like that. But for the most part, I'm not in favor of charity of any kind.
No, we do know that. We do know
Okay,
that.
so that's the other vote. We keep and sell.
Yes.
So your option and
And
my
Guts.
option of keep
But
and sell.
that's
Or
all we're doing then.
Does
Like
Guts have
we
a
can still
different
just give them
option, or
everything to
what?
sell. Like that's not the issue. I thought it was just like, are we doing this or that kind of thing? Like I'm okay with. We just say we give everything to him to sell. That's fine with me. I thought you were talking more just like we're either selling it all, like you've been saying, or we're not doing it, kind of thing.
well, I mean, I'd prefer to sell it all, but I mean, you are my guild, you are my clan, so I mean, I will, take that always into consideration. But I really am not in favor of just giving stuff away.
I'm
So
okay
what-
with.
Why don't we do that? Keep and sell as the two options, or keep, sell, and give away as the other option on the vote. Are we good with that?
Yeah.
Or what do 420 and Rick then? What are you guys on specifically?
The original, or not, I guess original, but what I
The
said
right-
just before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rick,
Yeah. No, I'm good with that.
Guts.
Okay, so that's the vote.
Well, no, we didn't vote for Guts yet.
I don't know.
Even though Guts' vote literally cannot change the outcome. Yeah,
Hey.
Guts.
Yeah,
Speak up.
it doesn't. I'm okay with being indecisive on this. It doesn't
Okay.
matter to me.
Like again, we're not really gonna make money here anyways in that way.
Yeah,
so
like, there's no way to
we're
make
selling
money.
most of it.
Yeah, there's more of the power than making money.
Well, think of it this way: they seem really giving off this, but they won't offer in all this if you join us. It's kind of like a subtle. I can't say the word.
Subtle.
So yes, flex.
All right, so let's vote then.
Didn't we just?
Did we vote? I didn't see any votes.
Yes, we just did.
Literally.
I'm looking at the thing. I don't see any votes.
Where were we voting?
What?
Everyone
So
was in
confused.
favor.
Hey, DM,
Where were we voting?
you're the debate moderator between Trump and Biden here. Let's do
I
this.
understand.
Oh
I-
God.
So everyone voted in favor, with the exception of possibly you, Tadpole, of selling the bold items, keeping the underlined items for ourselves,
Lost my sheet.
and of giving away the normal items, with the exception of the wagons, which hasn't gotten moved.
Yeah, I
That's
wanna
my
move
vote.
that
I
too.
typed it
Yeah.
into chat.
So, who are we giving these things away to?
That's
I
a good
assume we're just
question.
giving them to
It's sort of
Howard.
undefined at the moment.
Just the people on the street.
Well, hold on. No, how if we had stuff just for people, where do we give it to? Would you process that? Would the Look process that? 'Cause I heard they do some of this. The general just people stuff. Like we want to help people out.
How tells you that he, along with the others, can sort of distribute things accordingly. It would be sort of a group decision, amongst the people on the council of what
how
goes
much?
where.
How much do I believe that?
You believe it.
Okay.
All right, let's do this. How about we do this? We give it away in exchange for favors in the future, and we can catch them at least. I'm trying to get something out of this.
I
Well,
like
yeah,
that. No, that's a good idea.
implied, I feel, to some extent.
Oh, I want to make it a little more official.
Yeah,
You
let's
owe
make
me
it
a favor
clear.
in the future. Sign here.
Okay,
I
I
mean,
have a,
it becomes official when you're threatening them later.
yes. But
So-
on that note, I want to say, hey, let's add on to that. How, as we told you, and you're surprised, we want to stay here. We want to work out of here. Could you maybe, and we want to, we have other things we're keeping ourselves that would be a benefit. We want to, we're in this for the long game. We want to, the city, blah, 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 that kind of shtick. Could you help us smooth? I know, Grim, I know. I'm just kind of side waving that. I'm just like waving off, like we're in it for the big game. Could you help us speak with Keg to make it less of an issue that we move in?
Persuasion.
Okay. Guts, play a song. Play the song
Uh,
of persuasion, please.
Let me look at my repertoire.
Country roads, this is our new home.
City roads, take us home to the end of time.
Yeah.
Half of
let's
the
go with that.
city. Dun 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 dun.
See, why have you not
City
rolled a bard?
roads. Take us home.
I like having spells.
Yeah.
We built
Also-
this city on rock and stone.
And then, the other verse is
Middle
Tadpole, being the anti-verse or whatever it is, keeps switching between us. It's a good show, guys. You should see it on HBO Plus.
It's a group. It's a group effort.
I think
Being
Tadpole's
harmony
the
for you.
one doing backflips and stuff during the show, and it has all the dance moves. Well, Guts is like the lead singer playing the guitar. I
Dancer.
assume Rick's on drums.
Has Tadpole even done a backflip? Rick's actually done a backflip.
Oh yeah.
So,
Okay, so are we agreed then? We'll give it away in exchange for future favors.
Yes. Potentially him helping us move in. Potentially.
Well, whatever, but I want
Yes.
at least that.
Yes. I'm okay with that. Guys?
Okay, so if anything given away, regardless slave or not, noble, common man,
Well, that doesn't
We
apply
want-
here, though.
We want future favors. That's all with something. Okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. But I don't want to click it. God, please roll a
fucking hell.
1d8. I have a 5. What do you
Give a
want
good
from me? We've all
1d8.
been rolling bad today.
Yeah.
God, please roll a 1d8, make it an 8.
1.
Gutsy.
Guts.
No, I heard. Sorry, I
I
had
don't
a.
want to be blamed for the 1d8, Guts. Please roll it yourself.
I don't want to be blamed for my roll.
Oh,
Oh my
you had to say it. You had to say
I
one.
had to.
Yeah, you jinxed it. You jinxed it.
All right.
This is
so
what happens when you can't roll your own dice.
Yes.
He's willing to try to sell the things on your behalf. He's willing to hold on to anything that you can't move with you as you're sort of like moving and whatnot, is, you know, if you're going out of the things, and he'll keep it sort of safe for an amount
But
of
he
time,
won't. Yeah.
which is sort of, you know, up in the air, but he's going to try to play it, you know, right by you.
No, I'll be like, hey, I thought time wasn't here.
I'm not a
He
joke.
he is intimidated enough by me to not want to steal things, isn't he?
Sure.
You think the skeletons and fucking like
Sure.
chains all behind him be intimidating enough?
Okay.
He's going to try to put in good words for you for what you say. But reading into it and talking with him, like, you guys
Yeah.
have been here for like a literal hour. Nobody is super impressed by you or anything at this point, whether you have goods with you that they need or not. Like, you have no goodwill with the city itself. You're not exactly going to be allowed to start, you know, building permanent things when, sure, you are intending to stay, but you've got nothing backing that up or anything of this. You know, plenty of people who've come by like, yes, I'm staying, this is a permanent thing, this is going to be our life from now on, and just been gone the next day.
Which is kind of what I'm thinking, but that's okay.
I would be adventuring, but like, if you want to steal the stuff, have fun with the walls.
All right, cool.
Okay. Does that sort of satisfy or pacify everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what it is. He reaches his hands out. He shakes hands with all of you in turn. So, what would
Also
you
ask
like to
him-
do next?
I want to ask you one last question. Realistically, if I just build a building and she tried to enforce something just out of pure curiosity, not saying I'm actually going to do it without talking to her, do you have guards here? I assume? Is this kind of
Well, guards,
kind of like
not
a factional
exactly,
thing?
but I mean, if something happened and it were that blazing, you know, all of the factions would pretty much be forced to unite and try to enforce. You also wouldn't be the first ones to try to lay claim and lay stakes to this area. I understand, but one of the things you have to keep in mind is who we are as a people right now. We're much older than we look, for one. While this area has been in here for months, some of the time dilations have been going on for what we think are thousands of years. Some of us are very experienced at what we do.
This is Grim flexing the power levels on us and underestimating us.
Some of these people are the strongest NPCs I've made.
He's like, you can't get away with it this time. Your actions will have consequences.
Well, they always do.
What
They
you're
just
in
don't
is you're at the end of time. As far as we know, time doesn't exist where we are right here and right now. this is a paradise for some people, but for some people it's not always. I don't think you're attempting to impose your will on us, but if you do, obviously, people are going to be upset by that.
I'm really. Let's go talk to the mages.
Are we all going to the mages then?
Yeah,
So
well, I
try
guess
to-
that's a question. I mean, you can go wherever you want to.
People.
I mean,
Huge fan of not splitting the party, so
Yeah, that's true.
fair enough.
Yeah, let's.
So we head over to the Mages Guild. And you have been not exactly introduced, but point out as Ren, is sort of the leader of the faction of the Enclave.
The hell was that?
There was a hiccup. The Enclave, or what they're calling themselves. It should be noted that Bramble is sticking by your side for this. She's sort of been your de facto guide through it, and obviously you've made an impression on her, Zydro, and unless you're telling me to the opposite, she's sort of hanging on to you.
Oh no, that's fine.
Okay.
This is Zydrone's first addition to the party.
I want the skeletons to hug me now.
So you get there, and the building is fairly stark, as it were. You're sort of brought into this main vestibule, as it were, where a couple of people are just sort of hanging out. It doesn't look like there's a lot of work being done, at least in this very beginning. Ren is there, and several other what certainly appear to be younger quote-unquote students.
I'd like to do the traditional mage college greeting of what's up magically, which is just like I assume something with prestidigitation or some cantrip thing.
Okay.
The secret handshake, Grim. I want to do the secret mage handshake.
mage can't is what he wants to do.
Yes.
Exactly. So Ren sees you all coming in, and there's quite a large group of you, because like all the NPCs are coming as well.
What does Hart think? I want to know how he thinks we should flex people.
Like, if you're asking Hart, he's saying you should find out what's going on before you start flexing.
Yeah,
You got to
that's
make
what
sure
we're
you're the
doing.
bigger person before you assume you're the bigger person. But Ren greets you. Hello, travelers from the outside. How go things?
Well, I mean, are you against me burning the cleric's church down? Because that's my mood at the moment. That was a weird display.
It's a weird start to a conversation, honestly.
I'm
Hi,
a
how are you?
necromancer.
Can I burn something down, please?
This is what we do.
Not just anything, the church.
I'm a necromancer. That's implied heavily, I feel. This is my culture. You desecrate the church, and then you raise an army of undead. Come on, guys.
But yeah, you're not wrong there.
I feel like my necromancy teacher was too edgy. Necromancy 101 was weird.
His
I'm
face
off.
darkens. What?
It was. I said that the display when we showed up was weird.
He sort of shrugs. It's the way we do justice. We don't kill folks, but a lifetime of being infirm is punishment enough for most.
On that note, since just a question in general, I'm assuming that what you just said, with time not passing here, will they just be like that until they presumably, they're not going to die of old age, I assume, something like
Yes.
that. Okay, that's
Until
just
they
clear,
take
that
their own
clarifies a
lives
lot.
one way or another.
Okay. That was just a point of contention that someone needs to put a sign up. And I think when you walk in, maybe sitting like that kind of stuff, because the time thing's weird. How are you today?
All right. What can we do for you?
Oh, we're just, newcomers into town, trying to get the lay of the land. We heard you what resembles whatever remains of the wizards here, so...
He raises an eyebrow at that. Yes, we are whatever remains of the wizards.
Well, I don't see the wizard's tower here like it is on the other side, so I was told you're there.
No, the
mages
tower is
here.
still somewhere out there, we think.
Oh, yeah, so you're the wizards here.
Yes.
So, being a wizard myself, I thought I'd come stop by and see how things were here and maybe offer some specific supplies to you guys, specifically, directly.
Oh, you brought supplies that would be useful for us?
For what I can grasp of the nature, I figured that some of the, parchments, inks, some of the actual arcane supplies might be more sparse here.
Indeed, to say the very least. Most of what we get is scavenged and aged to put things a little succinctly.
Tapple, do you want to do the wagon reveal of cool supplies?
Ta-da!
Well, this is quite impressive. Quite impressive indeed, and you're giving it to us?
That's your cue, Tadpole.
Only for a future favor.
We want to build a relationship here.
Yeah.
What we've heard, everyone else comes by says the same thing, but I'm not sure who's come by before us. Remember, before this all happened, we were officially chartered company of the city, and we have other goals in mind, but obviously we wish to continue that. And the other side, as I'm sure you're aware, it's been a few days there. They're fine. They help the druids. Nothing's bad is going to happen there before it happens here. So we want to focus on this side of the city. Helping things out here. We're looking for someone in the wilds that can probably do more than we could. But we want to make a forward base to try to find them.
I see, and I understand, but of course when you say something like a favor, I'm a bit hesitant when the first thing you mentioned is destroying part of our way of life by burning down the clerics.
Oh no, that's just a necromancer joke. It's just, we have bad taste, I'm sorry.
Not all of us
Would
have
I,
that
would
taste.
I be there with you guys?
Yeah, no, we're all here.
I presume, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna just give you a little flick on the back of the head.
Oh.
I suppose depending on the nature of these favors, then yes, we could do something. We take things strictly. We won't kill. We won't go against anyone else around here. You know what I mean? Go against.
Like one of the favors, like one could come in handy really fast if you knew some sort of guide or something that may possibly be able to take us out
Oh,
to try and find people.
well, that's more sort of common knowledge. Any one of the outers, that's quite literally what they do.
Uh,
And to a lesser extent, the Reclaimers, if you wish to keep towards sort of known grounds.
oh, well. I must not have been paying enough attention.
Well, I don't think it was told to the party before, exactly.
So on that note, if we can ask more about you guys, I believe that the Reclaimers and the what was that other one? I can't see. I just see Hall.
Sorry, the Outers.
The Outers are the ones that,
I'll move everything.
to some extent, go out and about. Is that correct?
Say that again. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
The Outers and the Reclaimers are the ones that go out and out. What do they? I want to know what they're organized, what their goals, and the Enclave are, so to speak.
Yes.
Is it
Well,
to
I
make
mean,
America great again.
as we've said before, we're sort of the remnants of the mage's tower. We happen to have been found, and after living, we've come here. And, one naturally pulls towards others of one's nature. We're attempting to at least further the magic of all the inhabitants of the end of time. As for the Outers, they're typically more sort of the scouts. They actually go out and find new areas, make sure they're safe, and then lead the Reclaimers to them, who are sort of more specialized in gathering resources, bringing them back, turning these safer areas into places we can actually use. The two of them, in conjecture, are basically responsible for the way we can live through what we can gather from the Tangle.
So on that note, I assume there's no. I mean, I know the groves are the other side of the city, but none of the druids were over here.
It's kind of hard to say. I mean, we've theorized about it much. The Tangle, the area that I referred to, is quite overgrown, as it were, with life and whatnot. Surely that couldn't have happened without some sort of druidic intervention. But then again, if there are druids there, well, we certainly haven't found them.
What about this? What about Bramble here? I believe she's mentioned that's where she was from, right?
She sort of shrugs. The Tangle has existed for a long time. They are hurtling through time at a much, much faster rate than we are. We think there are new species that have come into existence from there. Again, whether through normal evolutionary means or by magically expedited, we don't exactly know. She happens to be a representative of this expedited evolution.
Interesting.
Okay.
Very interesting.
But,
I suppose the other thing that we do here in the Enclave is we try to, and I wish this would happen with much more luck than it frequently does, we sort of try to make sense of things. We look for the patterns of logic here and the other side, and try to apply them accordingly. It is a thing that is sometimes difficult.
I understand that, especially with the new what's the word I'm looking for? Situation, the reality, so to speak, of things. I've
Yes.
got a partial grasp on the whole thing, but honestly, don't think I have the specifics down in general. At least from our perspective over there. Again, it's been, a few days.
You wouldn't be the only one. One of the first things we try to teach people is to forget things that they thought they knew. Because under much more scrutiny, it often turns out that we were mistaken.
But, yes, we'd be willing to trace some of these players to definitely help better the... Again, we really want to, our main goal is obviously the city to help the... We're looking for some specific people to that end who have been on the first side of the wilds over there, what's it called, the wilds? Out of character?
They refer to it by different names, but for the most part, they refer to it as the Outer.
The Outer? On the Outer, some friends of ours we've had sparse contact with, one of which has an item we need to try to really better things, but they can handle themselves and the time stuff shouldn't affect them. I just gaze up in the distance. He's one of the best necromancers I've seen.
There
Almost had a
are
chance.
two things, and the first thing, which is the much more common thing, is that I would counsel you to forget them, as likely they died years years ago for you.
He was already a pretty old the last time I met him, I'm pretty sure. He should be fine.
I see.
He's all I dreamed to be. I just take out this locket of Voth I made in 2 days and just rub it affectionately. Also, he owes me lessons.
Speaking of, with what he just said, why don't you try sending the rat folk and see if they're still alive?
I will at some point. On that note, can we swap the magic cell phone numbers, good sir? I'm 2587-Delta.
Dash what?
Delta.
Oh, Delta.
I just made that up. I don't remember anything I just said.
I got you. Yeah, you can have it, but you understand, we here, as far as we know, we're not progressing through time. This is all just an act of perception. This is why we're living here.
I mean, I'm assuming that means as soon as I walk out that door, you'll be getting 5 messages from 5 months later, but just for the sake of contact, I've gotten through to some of the outers on the other side of the city. Distorted it may be.
Well, all right, I can send to you, and we can certainly send to each other here in the town.
Have you not tried anyone outside? Again,
Well, yes,
maybe it's...
without luck.
I've had quite a few lucks, actually, even from other planes, from what I gather. That's the weirder one, personally.
That is strange.
I think he's in the Abyss still, which might be a weird situation in and of itself. I wouldn't want to be him. I'd rather be stuck with the time than stuck in hell.
Indeed, it was a trying time for all of us.
On that note, I've heard from how it's every other person that comes through here every few weeks, minutes for them if even, yeah, we want to stay here, wander off like idiots and get killed presumably, or just stuck in a time loop. We want to help things out, and we want to, probably, I assume, join the Reclaimer, work with the Reclaimers and the Outers, I assume. How the best way to go about that would be?
Well, we'll likely just talk with their leaders. I'm sure some new blood, as it were, would always be welcomed. I understand, cannot exactly speak for them, but...
Mm-hmm. But on that note, would you mind if we, as being the wizard myself and my druid friend here, On that note, I assume with the time situation and the age situation, stuff wouldn't actually grow. But I'm assuming there's no druids here.
Well, there may be some druids amongst the Outers or the Reclaimers, but no, things do not grow here. That's why we have to go and collect most of our food and resources from the Tangle.
Is there any safe space where time flows somewhat that you'd be able to? Do you have any outposts outside here?
Oh, yeah, yes, there are a few. Both owned by the Reclaimers and the Outers, which I suppose both own jointly. If you get on their good sides, they could probably both lead you to them. But you have to understand, there have been some that have come before you, stating they have good intentions when it was eventually revealed that they did not.
But would they'd won over here? No offense intended to that statement. It seems more just picking through the ruins, whatever the time distortions have bred, and just trying to get by.
Yes.
If I may ask, like college standards, I'm assuming there's some sort of college grading system for power levels of wizards that's more, like, less out of character matter.
Sure, you can kinda, do amongst yourselves like that, and you have a standing.
Like, I'm assuming all those probably initiates, adepts,
Uh-huh.
maybe, like, like the kind of, have you played Skyrim?
I have, yes.
So like there's like, oh, there's the novice robes,
Right.
the adept robes,
Yeah,
like
no,
that
I
kind of shit.
understand.
Like, so I'm assuming I'm an adept at this point of necromancy, give or take. What would, like, I'm like, so what's like, tell me about the Enclave here. I really want to get to know you guys. Like, what's your, like, I'm assuming you're the leader,
How
as was
strong are
mentioned.
you?
Yeah, what's your power level?
As
Is it
you
better than
mentioned,
mine?
people sometimes have non-altruistic intentions. Like, so,
Oh,
could I take you to
over 9,000.
fight?
Well, no, but at the same time, like, I want to know what they can do. Like, I'm, for example, the crafting mage. I can do this, even though I'm a necromancer. Like, what's the breadth of your expertise here?
Well, of course,
Like,
they've
what have you guys been
continued
like,
traditions of teaching create water and everything to every mage, basically ever. They tend to lean more towards the evocation schools of things, and they tend to be a bit on the weaker side.
Is that true? Are you an evoker yourself, if I may ask?
Well, yes. I mean, between that and, of course, my study of time.
My
Yeah.
my focuses were necromancy with a minor in transmutation.
I see.
You can see from my little friends here. So, I think there's maybe a breadth of knowledge to be shared, and I could definitely help out with. I'm looking about. Describe the place to me again. Like the actual. What do they have? Like a building, a tower? Like, what do they have?
No, it's more sort of a building, and it's more sort of. It has been created, the same way you would go about creating something with, shapestone or whatever the spell's called. But the area you're led into is more sort of a vestibule, a visiting, a sitting area type thing, so you don't have, like, full access to it, so you can't see everything. But, it's alright, it's built, it's gonna last.
But yeah, well, like, sure we can do some exchange of information, especially with the supplies for both of us. I'm sure you know. I'll show you my spellbook, you show me yours, we can exchange knowledge. I think, yeah, that was the joke, thank you. I think, necromancy would have a pretty opportune experience for people exploring. At least the Outers and stuff, if they get stuck in a time loop. I was working on something that's been around the city, but my, what do I want to say, agents, my bookworms, my ritual scouts, they never got back to me before this event happened. It's basically a, kind of a a weaker version of a Lich Tum. It was kind of just a almost conversion to a more undead state of life that would really didn't change the body much apart from the obvious connotations.
Interesting.
But like it would let you survive in time and age, wouldn't be a worry. The force would be the necromantic force would be sustaining you, stuff like that. Similar to I just kind of bat at the iron stone floating around in my head. To this to some extent, but with you just be slightly undead.
Just slightly.
No, you'd be totally undead, but you'd be of an intelligent undead with more you alive. You could pass for alive with some makeup kind of thing.
I see.
It'd be good to some of the more dangerous scouts that would be entering time zones and stuff that could, never be seen from again kind of situations. If nothing else kills them, at least the aging won't, kind of thing.
Yes. Well, it's something to think about, certainly.
I don't know where we're going, guys. Someone help me. Tadpole, what do you want to do?
Sell everything.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true.
That's one thing.
But yeah, if you'd be willing to work with us, I guess we obviously the supplies we'd want to help out and maybe
I
make
want to see what's
things
outside the
better
walls,
here.
actually.
What?
I want to see what's outside the walls, but
Oh yeah, like I mean inside this or like the outers?
Oh, well, now, your friend, I have to caution you. We do know that there's only one safe way through the Shimmer. That's what we call the barrier all around this place.
Yes, we've heard about that. It's the Safeway or whatever it is, bottom in the
Indeed.
corner, right?
Yes. So again, I must caution you about just stepping out into the unknown, as it were.
Or again, that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to get our bearings, see how things work as one should, and which is basically a new. What's the word I'm looking for?
We do as a people.
Right. Well, again, as I mentioned to you, probably your next stop is the Outers or Reclaimers in attempting to find a guide.
Now, are they just sort of the scouts, or they're
Possibly other than Bramble? I don't quite know what your relationship is.
That's the weird druid thing, from what I understand.
Right.
Alright, supplies, favors, maybe we can try to make life over here more comfortable. I assume it's mostly a food thing and not a water thing, then?
Mostly, yes. We're usually all right on both food and water. It's much less of a concern now than it used to be, certainly.
Oh, I figure especially with these supplies, we get some enchantments up to try to better things, make things more stable,
Yes.
Hospitable, I suppose.
We've managed to find out that if we send out parties about 3 times a day, one party usually comes back every day.
Okay. But, yes, we also have, I'm just going to reach out for one of the, I assume, decanters of endless water, or whatever, maybe that water orb we found before in the desert land, and just press the button.
He says, well, impressive, but we do generally have water covered. I don't think we can survive without it.
Oh, yeah.
We
but
are tower-trained mages, for the
Oh, of
most
course.
part.
I'm saying just for the sake of maybe other activities or just for mixing drinks. I don't know. Something we wouldn't want to waste water on normally.
Interesting. But you say your goods are with Hal. We'll go and we'll speak with him, and we'll see what arrangements can be come to.
Quite. I suppose we should head to the Outers, unless you think we should talk to the mayor first. We haven't seen her yet, apart from a quick wave, I think.
Well, either way, what I think we're going to do is actually call it right here, because we're at about 3:30. Or at least we're about 5 minutes away from it.
But I never scouted his power level. Is it over 9,000?
It is not over 9,000.
Am I over 9,000?
Do you reckon I could take him in a fight?
I mean, he's a little wimpy bookie kind of guy.
He's a devoker mage, so you should be able to fireball your face off.
It's like Rick walks up to the frail old fucking librarian. Do you think I could punch out the 70-year-old lady?
She's actually the abjuration mage. She's a battle mage. She just flips you onto the desk quietly without making a sound.
But again, like I said, either way, we're gonna call it right here. Glad to have you back, Tadpole. It's been a little
Glad to be. So, we are from now on doing the 8 a.m. Pacific time, like.
Yes.
So
Okay.
we've been doing 11 a.m. EST.
Are
Okay.
you Pacific?
Yeah.
Is that like? I don't want to talk for Grim, but is that an issue for you at all?
No.
Okay.
No. It is an issue that I didn't know, and that was there at 8:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't want to be. Yeah. So I'll just make sure I'm up in time.
Yep.
All right. Cool.
I
I will see you next week at 8 a.m. Pacific time.
Sure.
I feel that pain. I mean, less than the Kiwis do. Have a good day, though.
All right.
All right,
Either way,
folks.
thanks for
Week
joining
done
us.
Bye, y'all.
Hope you
Take
all
care.
have a great day and peace out.
Bye.
It's actually 8 a.m. now.